The NCAA tournament is back. The first four starts tomorrow in Dayton. And we have the boys on once again from last year. Josh and Jordan making their presence known, spitting their knowledge, ready to return for March Madness 2026 NCAA tournament. We're going to break the whole bracket down. We'll see how long this show goes. It's probably going to be at least 2-3 hour job, but we'll try to go as fast as we can. We're going to bring as much knowledge as we can. So if you guys are in any bracket pools, if you're doing any DFS, DraftKings stuff, which is getting more popular with the tournament now. I know they took it away for some years and then they brought it back again. We do the player pools where we draft 20 guys. We go by just points. We're doing our draft tomorrow night. And then I got another one Wednesday night. But also, whatever you're doing, picks, bets, future bets, whatever you want, you guys can jump in the chat, ask, or, if you watch after, just drop a comment and we'll get back to you. But lots of good information in this show tonight. So make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, sharing. This is normally a fantasy football show, but when basketball season arrives, we head into March Madness. We'll be doing a show hopefully every week until the Final Four. So let's get into it. On the other side, we'll bring back Josh. And we'll get into it with Josh and Jordan. But Fantasy Savvy on X. Like, subscribe, share. Let's go. Welcome to the Fantasy Savvy Weekly Show with your host, Steve D'Angelo, discussing high-stakes fantasy football, NFL picks, and much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right. So we are back. We got Jordan. What's going on, man? How's everything going with you?
Hey, everything's going well, Steve. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Back again. Let's do this.
And we got Josh back, who hasn't been on the show, I think, since last tournament. What's going on with you, man?
Yeah, last year, man. We did a bunch of these last year. We slacked a little bit this year, but we're back.
Yeah, we did do a bunch of these.
All right.
Let me change the camera. We did it. We broke it all down. We went from, I think, right before the tournament. We might have gone right before the conference tournament. We did after the first round. We did Sweet 16. We did Elite 8, Final 4. So we plan to do the same thing again. Hopefully, we can get you guys back for every show. Maybe we can get a couple more people in here. But yeah, so let's get right into it.
I'm hearing a little bit of mic issues, Steve. Are you hearing that mic issue, Jordan, at all?
From me?
Yeah, from you, but it might be. I guess it could be mine. I don't know.
Jordan, I don't know. Do you hear anything?
No.
It's probably not. Might be my headphones.
All right. Yeah, I got all the latest technology. Hopefully, we don't have an issue here, but we'll be all right.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's just my crappy equipment.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the first four. It's going to be tomorrow night in Dayton. UMBC versus Howard. UMBC, they were the team that beat Virginia, right? Wasn't that, or was that Purdue that they beat?
It was Virginia. Yeah, UMBC.
As a 16 seed. And then Virginia, I believe, won the tournament the next year. But that's the 6:40 game on Tuesday night. I don't know if you have, Howard, obviously. Both these teams stink. But let's just look at the spread real quick for the viewers. Let's see if we can get a pick from either one of you guys based off the spread. UMBC is giving 2 to Howard. The over-under is 141.5. I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on this game? Do you have any pick in this game at all?
I was actually disappointed. I was disappointed with the placement of these teams because I actually like both of them. I've watched them play, and I was like, these are solid teams. I was hoping they would get a little bit higher so they could actually have a shot at a game, I mean, I guess it's good they get to play each other. So, but I mean, they both look pretty good to me. I'm looking forward to that game. I wish they were like a 13 seed so they might have some hope.
I agree with Josh. I think that this kid, DJ Armstrong on UMBC, is someone to look out for. I think that I would put my money on UMBC. Right? You agree with me, Josh?
Yeah, that guy hit some huge shots at the end of their conference tournament.
Yeah, actually,
over and over again. It was pretty nice. It was fun to watch.
Yeah. So I think they're definitely misseeded. I mean, there are plenty of garbage teams in this tournament, and those aren't the garbage teams.
Yeah, Howard looked real athletic too. They looked like they could play with some people out there.
Isn't like Kennesaw State? Aren't they like a middling team?
Yeah, and I think they got a 14. Yeah, I don't know how
Kennesaw
they decide
State's-
on like the 13 through the
Yeah,
16.
who determined this? That's kind of where I'm at.
I don't know.
my
I feel like
friend,
they don't put much thought into that part.
my friend's an athletic director. He showed me one of his bosses was on the committee. He showed me their setup. They were basically like sitting down at a desk, like 5 computer screens, just pretty sick setup. I don't know how much they pay attention. Who the hell knows? Might be getting pizza, going to the bathroom. But it's hard. It's hard to concentrate on 5 games. It's like at once while they're all going on.
A lot of
You kind of have to like focus on one game for 5 minutes and then go to the next game for 5 minutes. It's hard to like zoom around to each game. But UMBC, I mean that conference isn't bad. I mean,
no,
we've seen Vermont pull some upsets. Famous with Coppenrath beat Syracuse years ago from Vermont. Vermont's they're always been kind of good. Bryant made the tournament the other day. Their coach now, Phil Martelli Jr. Moved on. Where is he coaching now, Jordan?
Phil Martelli Jr. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Phil Martelli.
Yeah, Phil Martelli Jr. was coaching at Bryant. He moved on. He's coaching somewhere else now. He's got in a much bigger school. So they played Georgetown. They only lost by 9.
He's at VCU.
What's that?
He's at VCU now.
VCU. There you go. So, and then they only lost by 6 to Dayton. So they played some decent teams here, and then you got Howard. Coming out of the MEAC, and I think Norfolk pulled an upset years ago with the guy.
Those games are so hard to pick.
Wasn't that the guy who broke his leg?
Kyle
crazy?
O'Quinn. It was the Nick.
Yeah. What's that?
It was the Nick, New York Nick, Kyle O'Quinn, Norfolk.
Oh
State.
yeah, Kyle O'Quinn.
They beat Missouri that year.
Right. And the coach was like one of the son's dad. One of the kid's dads, and I don't know. I remember he like jumped up and like tore his ACL, and he was on crutches. But they pulled off an upset years ago.
That was a different team. That was George. Crap. Who was that? Georgia something. Georgia State.
Yeah, that's right. Georgia.
Yeah.
State.
RJ Hunter.
RJ Hunter. Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah. They played Missouri. They lost by 21. They got destroyed by Duke. So, all right, let's go with. They played Northwestern. They lost by 20. Just to give you some reference. But let's go with UMBC. I agree. What's the kid's name again? DJ Armstrong?
Armstrong. Yep. Kid to watch out for.
All right. So let's go with
he was
that.
Super clutch at the end of that conference tournament.
All right. Let's go with that 640 on True TV. You guys have True TV?
No.
Have you ever watched True TV at all besides watching something on the NCAA tournament?
For the tournament?
I doubt it. Yeah, probably not.
TV. I don't know what the hell. That's the problem today.
I have no idea what comes on that channel.
So many damn channels. You can't even. I mean, back in the day, we had like 30 channels. It was much better.
I think it was like forensic stuff. I never actually watched it. But I think it's like forensic files or I don't know. It's weird.
We got a bunch of CBT, NIT games tomorrow too, alongside. But the second game in the first 4 at 9:15 is going to be Texas at versus North Carolina State. What is the spread on this one? I think it's even spread. And the over under is
That's gonna be
159. Oh no, Texas NC State's favored by 1.5. Over under is 159. Does either one of you have any thoughts on this game? If you do, just zap it out.
What do you think, Josh?
Oh, man, I wouldn't know how to pick it. I mean, I feel like both teams are kind of inconsistent. You never really know exactly what you're going to get. I feel like NC State has more tournament experience. They got Darren Williams. I'd probably pick NC State.
Me too.
But
Me too.
I don't trust them at all, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's not a team I would be picking in the next round, but.
Yeah, but they got Trey Holloman from Michigan State. They've got some guys with some tournament experience.
Copeland was a transfer from McNeese, so maybe he brings something to the table for NC State. So he's got some tournament experience. I would go NC State.
Yeah.
You like that too?
They've got some
NC State?
talent on that team.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I'm just trying to see who these guys.
I'd probably
played.
take them.
Yeah, they got Arsenal.
Yeah, he hasn't really made much of an
So
impact.
much, yeah.
Weird. I thought he would be better, and he just
Their
hasn't really gotten any better.
Leading scorer is Dayton. Texas leading scorer is Swain, 18 points a game.
He's solid.
Tremont Mark,
Yeah.
Matas.
Yeah, I mean, so they also have some tournament experience. I mean, Swain had a big tournament last year for Xavier.
Yeah.
Tremont Marks hit some huge shots in some big games.
Jordan Pope.
It's an interesting matchup.
Jordan Pope's from somewhere too, isn't he?
Yeah, like Oregon State, maybe something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, they got
Swain was on
it's a
Xavier
good
last year.
matchup.
Was he the guy who was lighting it up for Xavier last year?
Yeah, he scored a lot of points. Yeah. Interesting matchup.
Texas this year, they beat Alabama. They killed Vanderbilt 80-64. They beat Georgia, another tournament team. They lost to Florida by 13, lost to Arkansas by 20, lost to UConn by 8, lost to Virginia by 20, beat NC State already, 102-97. So this is actually a rematch. They played about a month ago. So you guys sure like NC State? I don't know.
I mean, Texas has a size advantage. That big guy with his last name starts with a V. Did you say it? It was like
Viciatitis.
He's good. I feel like he'll be in the NBA. He's huge. He's definitely will be a problem for NC State. They're kind of small inside, so tough matchup. I mean, I feel like it could go either way. I wouldn't feel comfortable really betting either way, but
they got Timmy Wilcher. Oh wow, yeah. Texas has got some talent. I just don't think they've shown much recently.
Yeah, tough.
All
these first four matchups they're always tough to call.
Well, the key thing is with these, and what's up to Jamie, by the way, loyal listener, the man. Jamie was at the infamous story. I'll tell you guys real quick.
Hadn't filled out a bracket.
Yeah, he's got to fill out a bracket after the show, man, or tomorrow. But Jamie was at the Fantasy Expo last year in Canton, Ohio, where they have the expo for fantasy football every year. And he met Harold Fannon's mom, and he brought Harold Fannon's whole family up on stage, and he introduced them. And he sent me a picture with him and Harold Fannon's mom. So that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and Harold Fannon obviously had a great year.
I like Harold.
Yeah. But NC State. Yeah, they lost to Auburn by 10. They beat VCU by 6. They lost to Virginia by 15. I mean, they beat Clemson by 4. I don't really see any big wins from them. Not like Texas has.
Texas lost 5 out of 6 as well.
Lost 5 out of 6?
5 of their last 6 games. Yeah. Georgia, Florida, Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas, Florida is understandable. Oklahoma was playing well. So I kind of get that. Ole Miss actually was playing well as well. So
yeah, tough conference.
Tough conference, yeah. That's tough.
No easy games.
No, nothing easy.
All right, so you guys like NC State -1.5. I think I'm going to go with Texas in this one.
Okay.
Any thoughts on the total here? 158.5. It was a high scoring game last time. 102-97. Dayton seems to have a lot of high scoring games. But what I was going to mention about Dayton is how many times have we seen one of these teams play in the first 4 and then go to the Sweet 16? So it's probably
usually one of them does it, right?
Right. So whoever wins this game could make a little bit of a run.
Could be.
Who's the winner play?
Let me see. Hold on. The winner is going
to the other one, BYU.
BYU.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richie Saunders out. They're vulnerable.
And then they play the winner of Gonzaga, Kennesaw State if they get past them. So, I think they could find themselves in the Sweet 16. One of these two teams.
Yeah, definitely possible.
All right.
Gonzaga look like they're playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I expect the Zags to be there.
All right. Well, that's the first four. Like UMBC for the first game, -2. That's a consensus pick. No pick on the over-under. But the second game, we like I like Texas. These guys like NC State. But again, one of these two teams, whoever wins, could make a run. We've seen it time and time again ever since they started the first four. All right, so let's go to Thursday, first game, 12:15 to jump off the tournament, and March Madness, everything we look forward to every single year. Interesting game here. I looked at it. I think I have an opinion, but we'll see what your guys' opinion is. TCU versus Ohio State. Ohio State -2.5. Total is 146. Who wants to go first in this one?
I'll go first. I think I like TCU. I like the Pierre kid he's a Jersey guy. I'm biased, but I do think that we're in a tough conference. I saw them play a few times. I like their chemistry. I think they have some decent athleticism. I just like what TCU brings to the table.
Yeah, I like a guy named David Punch too for them. He's been impressive. I feel like he's the best player in the game. So I'd kind of lean towards them as well. Again, tough matchup though. The 8-9's always hard to call. I'd give them a slight edge, but Ohio State's been playing pretty well too. Was it Michigan? They gave a pretty good battle too. The tournament.
Yeah.
Barely lost.
Yeah, they lost by
played
4.
Carolina well earlier this year. They nearly beat Carolina too, and we had everybody.
Yeah, they got some good wins.
TCU has won 6 out of the last 7. So a little bit of a streak.
Yep. I like it.
All right. TCU, you can see here, they beat Wisconsin on a neutral court. They beat Florida on a neutral court. They only lost to Michigan by 4.
Yeah.
They lost to Kansas on neutral court by 5 in the Big 12 tournament. But yeah, some good wins here. I was kind of looking at it. I know a lot of people kind of like TCU as well, so I'm going to go with TCU in this one. Josh, did you say
they're underdogs too, right?
Yeah, they're plus 2.5.
I also like TCU. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the few games I already bet.
Okay, nice. Yeah, no, I mean, Ohio State had some good wins. They beat Purdue. They played Virginia tough. They beat up on Wisconsin. They beat UCLA. But yeah,
solid teams. I hope they can knock Duke out in the second round. I'll be rooting for them.
Who was the one player from TCU you mentioned, Josh? I mean, Jordan.
Jaden Pierre.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to, talk about any specific, players that stick out to you, it could be any, even if the guy doesn't even average that much that you think is an NBA prospect, because I know you both of you guys are heavily into the
David
prospect.
Punch. I think David Punch is my NBA prospect for TCU that I like.
Edmond will have to have a big game shooting the ball from 3. We'll see. He's their second leading scorer.
Bruce Thornton's had a pretty big year for Ohio State.
Yeah.
He's put up some big numbers. He's a little guy, but
David
I feel like he had 40 in a game.
Oh, yeah, he averages 13 a game. Okay.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Pierre averages 10. All right. Yeah, so let's go with TCU. And you could pick them in your bracket. You could pick them with the spread, plus 2.5. All right, next game, Thursday, 12:40. We have Troy, the 13 seed against Nebraska, the 4 seed. Troy coming out of the Sun Belt, which is, that conference has been pretty formidable in the past as well, has had some good wins in the tournament. They're 13-point underdogs. and the over-under is 137.5. Josh, what do you think here?
I mean, I love betting Troy because I think they have a chance here. I was, having a hard time finding a whole lot of big upsets that I felt good about. But this one, I feel like if you're really wanting to take one, this is an opportunity to try to take one because Nebraska is not the most athletic team. I mean, they started like 20-0 or something this year, and they're certainly a solid team, but they're not going to overwhelm you athletically. They're not huge. And, this is the kind of team that could potentially be vulnerable if they have a bad shooting day. I mean,
Yeah.
So I like Troy with the points for sure.
All right. What do you think, Jordan?
I think that spread is definitely like a solid spread. I kind of lean Josh's way on this. I think that I wouldn't bet money line on this because I think Nebraska's going to end up pulling this out because I just think they have too much to do. But I do think that if you put if you look at the spread, I think it's going to be a closer game. So I think that I would bet the spread on Troy.
I'm pretty sure Nebraska is still looking for their first NCAA tournament win.
Been a long time since they've come in the tournament as well. It's another factor.
I feel like they're saying they've never won a tournament game before. This is like
I wouldn't be absolutely shocked by that. They had a great record in the Big Ten, though. So
yeah, I think I heard that the other day that they'd never won in a tournament game. So this is their chance.
Yeah, this is their chance. You never know with those guys, like first time teams.
I feel like they'll probably win a close game, is my guess. But
I agree with you.
Yeah. Fred Hoiberg, former Chicago Bull. He used to bang threes with Jordan every once in a while.
They're a really good home team. They're just dominant at home. They have a really good crowd, and
Nebraska.
So I feel like without that, they're not as good of a team. Yeah, but they are pretty good. I mean, very good passing team.
Yeah,
they've got that Sanford guy is a deadly shooter too.
Troy beat San Diego State in overtime. They beat USC they lost to USC by a point in overtime. They beat Furman, who's in the tournament, by 3. And didn't Furman have a big upset on Virginia one year too?
They beat somebody, yeah.
I think it was Virginia.
They may have even won 2 games.
I think that was the game where Kevin Harlan was going nuts and Stan Van Gundy was like in the middle, like shocked. I think that was Furman, Virginia. But anyway, Troy beat them this year. Nebraska. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Nebraska, but maybe they're due for a win.
They really are due. That's for sure.
I don't trust them, but
they beat Wisconsin. They beat Illinois. They beat Michigan State. They did win on the road at Illinois, so that's a good win.
Yeah, it's a good win.
They only lost by 3.
Got some big wins.
They only lost by 3 at Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been very good all season for sure. It's just one of those things where a lot of these smaller teams can't compete athletically with some of these teams. This is one of those times where that's not going to be an issue.
True.
So, I don't know. Pressure's on Nebraska to get that first tournament win. And I think they probably do it.
Nebraska's defense is ranked 21st in the country. Troy's offense is ranked 217.
Not very good.
Also, the Nebraska's defense 3-point defense is 15th in the country. So you guys think Troy can cover here, but you're both you wouldn't pick Troy in the bracket, right? Is that
no? Yeah.
Okay.
Only if you get an underdog bonus, maybe.
Yeah.
You ever do those where you get the difference in seed bonus if they win? So it's worth taking a chance on if you're playing.
13.5 is tough. That's a really wide spread.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Next game, University of South Florida, Thursday at 1:30, versus Louisville. and this spread is -5. The over-under is high, 165.5. Louisville, since Rick Pitino left, I guess they really haven't done too much in the tournament, or since they left the Big East. I guess maybe they had a couple decent years in the ACC, but I don't know. Any thoughts on South Florida here? That's a good conference. South Florida's on fire. They're 10-0. I see they've won their last 10 games. They're 8-2 against the spread. So any thoughts on South Florida here, Jordan or Josh?
I love South Florida. South Florida is one of my favorite teams in the tournament. I think that they have what it takes to be the makings of an upset. It's just like the obvious factors. They got interior presence. They can shoot the three. Pinion's a really good shooter. Ennis is proved to be a great shooter in the tournament. Their Nelson, their big man, is just like excellent rim protector. Like one of the best I've seen in the amongst the borderline mid-major conference teams. So I'm picking South Florida, and I think they have a shot to go a little bit further as well, depending on the bracket.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot there, and I feel like either whoever wins this game can give Michigan State an issue too.
Yeah,
I mean, and I think Louisville is actually playing better than they were. They lost Mikael Brown, who's like everybody thinks is a top 5-10 pick in the NBA draft. I think they're actually playing better with him out because he's kind of a one-on-one, taking some bad shots. Seemed like kind of messed up the offense a little bit. And with him out, Ryan Conwell now is the main ball handler. He was also Xavier last year when they had a solid little run, put up a lot of points. So it's another tough matchup. I really like South Florida too. So tough call for me. And I think whoever wins can win again potentially. So I don't know. Hard one to pick. I'm probably going to split it up in my brackets.
By the way, the Troy-Nebraska game is played in Oklahoma City. Just want to give the locations here. Louisville, South Florida will be in Buffalo, New York.
Interesting.
Not much help for anybody there.
Absolutely.
Might be bad for Florida. You come from South Florida, you start freezing your balls off in Buffalo.
Yeah, they're not going to want to go up there. No fans are going to want to go. They'll be watching from the beach down here.
The Bulls' balls will be freezing for sure.
They don't need fans. Come on.
Yeah. They were fired up. I mean, they seem like they're very inspired. They were. Your boy Nelson you were talking about was real fired up.
He's intense. And
also Mikael Brown, I think, is questionable to play. Right? I think he's hurt. So.
He's been out. Yeah, he's been out. I think he's out. But which, like I said, I think it's actually helped them with him being out. But
sometimes it works that way with chemistry.
Yeah.
One key player is gone, other guys step up.
Right, that happens a lot.
And Conwell's a guy who's used to having the ball, and he probably just didn't have it as much as he used to. And he's got a lot more experience than Mikael Brown, so I don't know. I think it might be an advantage for them.
Let me see if there's any info. Mikael Brown, he's questionable, so we really don't know. He's dealing with a back injury. So we don't know. Second leading scorer behind Conwell. Conwell, isn't he from Xavier too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a big tournament last year too. Both those guys, him and Swain.
So you both you guys like South Florida plus the 5 here?
Yeah, I'd probably take that.
I like it.
Okay. Any thoughts on the total 165?
I don't do those too much. I haven't had good luck with them.
I wouldn't bet the under.
Yeah, probably a lot of points for sure.
You think so? I'm leaning the opposite, but I would never bet the under.
I mean,
it was a big total though, right?
Well, it's 165. Well, look at this. SMU scored 95. Clemson scored 80. Miami scored 89 on Louisville. And South Florida, they've scored 86, 83, 96, 90, 87, 83. So they could definitely score.
That's a lot of points.
Their defense seems pretty sound. Louisville's kind of 70s, 80s. So it seems like they're letting up a lot of points. So yeah, it's a high total, 165.
Yeah. They'll probably be nervous at the beginning. So that's a lot of points to ask.
A lot of points.
They might be freezing their balls off too in the first half. So maybe take the first half under there for the South Florida.
I do the first half under.
That might be a good plan across the board. First half under.
We're all taking the first half under. The Bulls will be freezing their nuts off, and then they'll warm up. 1:30 on Thursday. Oh, by the way, we have to go back to the first four. I skipped over the Wednesday games, so let's go back to that. We have Prairie View, A&M versus Lehigh. Close game, actually. 3.5. A dog is Prairie View. Total is 143. Lehigh, we all remember, the upset against Duke with CJ McCollum years ago. They haven't done anything since.
They haven't had CJ McCollum again.
Yeah. Let's see. They played Rutgers. They lost by 12. They lost by 22 to West Virginia. They played Houston and lost by 22 as well, or 18 rather. They did fairly well in their conference, but just 18 and 16, second in the Patriot League. The record really wasn't that good. And then Prairie View, 18 and 17 on the year. They
finished 8th in their conference, I think.
Oh my God, they played Missouri.
They actually look decent to me, though. I watched them, and they were like long and athletic, and I was like, how did this team finish 8th in this conference? And I think they made the tournament last year too. So
eighth in the SWAC. You're right.
I tend to lean towards that tournament experience. I'm going Prairie View.
Yeah, no shot. I'm going Lehigh. They got like 240% plus shooters.
Yeah.
Yeah. No chance. That conference is definitely underrated this year, and they had like a good Navy team that got bounced out, but Lehigh made it. So I'm definitely going.
I like that little point guard for Navy.
Yeah, he's solid.
Forget what his name is, but I like him.
I know what you're talking about. He's solid.
Lehigh is 116th in the country in 3-point percentage. But Prairie View's defense is 184th. 184. Nothing really stands out from either team on the stats.
I think we got to blow them out.
All right, so Josh likes Prairie View. Jordan likes Lehigh. 143.
We got a side bet.
There you go. Side bet you paid off in the what's the name of the tournament you guys go up to in Virginia?
Portsmouth.
Yeah, these guys go up to Portsmouth, Virginia every year. And they check out all the seniors in college and they scout them. How long you guys been doing that? Like 10 years?
Over 14.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, been awesome. Been a long run, right, Josh?
Oh, he was going good. He was going good. Here.
We had him.
Yeah, he'll come back. Maybe kicked his wire out or something. All right.
Was it on his phone?
No, he was on his computer. What did I want to say about this game? All right, nothing more of this game. Let's move on.
The side bet? Yeah. Nasir Whitlock.
Hold on. All right. The second game on Wednesday night is Miami, Ohio versus SMU. And we got Josh back.
There we go.
There he is.
We are.
There we go. It just kicks me off. I usually get back on like right away, but
real quick, let's answer Jamie's question. Then we'll get into the Miami, Ohio game. Jamie wants to know, is there going to be another Jordan or LeBron level player coming to the league anytime soon?
I mean, that's a lot to ask. Jordan and LeBron.
The upside, Peterson has the upside.
Yeah, he does. He does. I like Darius Acuff as my number 1 pick this year, though. So nobody's really saying that.
Acuff's solid. No, Acuff is solid. Like he makes all the right plays, every game-winning plays. That's why I agree with you, Josh. I think Arkansas is going to go on a tear this year. I think this is going to be a great run for Arkansas. It's going to be their best year.
All right. Yeah, Jordan or LeBron is a big ask. I mean, that's
tough, Jordan or LeBron. But if you're talking like the next year, yeah, Peterson could if he stays healthy.
Yeah, he's terrifying to me, Peterson. He's just always sitting out. I mean, when he's at his best, he's amazing, but he's giving those Kawhi Leonard vibes right now.
I think it's a hamstring injury. That's what it is. It's the same thing as in football. You know how guys sit out with the hammy. He's been playing through the hamstring. He had like a grade, maybe it was a grade 2, something like that. He just he doesn't want to get injured because his draft stock's going to get impacted.
Yeah,
he's been playing through a hamstring injury.
Huh?
Hey, Coach's been playing through a hamstring injury.
Peterson is, yeah.
Oh, Peterson. Right.
Yeah.
Acuff's my guy, my number 1 pick. He's probably not going to be Jordan or LeBron, but
he's not Jordan or LeBron, but he's solid.
Most people have him like number 6.
He's top 5 minimum. If you have him out of the top 5, you should lose your job immediately.
All right.
Who do you kick out of the top 5?
I mean, I would pick him before Cam Boozer, which is crazy to say.
Yeah, he had trouble against the Onyeso, Virginia's big dude. He got blocked like 1,000 times in that championship. Did you see that? Boozer shot like 3 for 17.
I missed it, but I've watched Cam Boozer in the past at the Shrine tournament in Jersey, where the top high school players came from. He's good. He's like one of the top skilled guys, and he'll keep getting better. Sort of like a Paolo Banchero, but I don't see the upside that other people see in him. I think that Acuff has like as high an upside as anyone.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get to Acuff eventually. But let's talk about this Miami, Ohio game in Dayton. So, they have to play in their first 4. They lost 1 game all year, which was in the conference tournament. But they get to play in their home state of Ohio, and they're playing SMU. Do either one of you have a strong thought on Miami, Ohio?
Well, they play great team ball. They can really shoot it. Not the most athletic team. I love this guy, Peter Suter. I feel like he's potentially a pro player, extremely skilled. I love Boopy Miller for SMU as well. Their point guard. He's awesome. I mean, Miami, Ohio, they were undefeated till, what was it? It was conference tournament. They lost their first game, right?
Yeah, to UMass.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to lose to UMass, though, that's an issue. I mean, SMU, they're probably a lot more athletic.
Yeah. So. I think that I'm going to call back the Wally Zerbiak days, and I'm going to say that the MAC is going to get a team advancing past the first 4. I'm gonna call it here right now. I think actually this like you said, Josh, I think that there's some NBA level prospects in this game. I really like Ian Elmer. I think I like the way he moves on the floor. I think he's shooting over 40% from 3. I like his game as well. You mentioned Suter. And then on the other side, Jerron Pierre is definitely an NBA prospect. That guy's a high flyer, and he shoots 38% from 3. He's solid. So along with Boopy, so it's going to be a fun game. That first 4 matchup is going to be fun. 2 really good teams. I think Miami, Ohio is going to have the edge. I think they're going to outshoot them.
Okay, they're getting 6.5. The total is 164.
They're getting 6.5.
They really didn't play anybody. I mean, they didn't play anybody.
No, they have the worst schedule, one of the worst schedules in the country.
Right. SMU, they beat Texas A&M. Who else do they beat? Let's see. They beat Louisville by 10. I mean, they don't really have any good wins either. They don't really have no good wins, SMU. Who'd they beat? They beat Louisville. They lost to Clemson. They lost to Duke. They lost to Virginia. They lost to NC State. They lost to Miami. So, yeah, I mean, they lost to Vanderbilt. They beat Texas A&M. And who did I say? Oh, they beat UNC by 14. That's really it. I mean, they don't really have any good wins. They have like 1 or 2 good wins on the year. So,
Yeah.
And historically SMU's been a football school. There's like the past couple of years they've been good in basketball. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I mean, Miami, Ohio, the last time, I think that was maybe like one of the first few years I started doing the players pool. I think the first year I had Austin Crozier for Providence. And then like the year or two after that, I had Wally Zerbiak. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Miami, Ohio, based off what I'm seeing here. You win 30 games, you lose 1 game all year. You know how to win, you know how to come from behind, you know how to play in tight games, you're used to winning. And I'm just looking at SMU's schedule. I don't really see much that impresses me. So what do you think here, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, dropping that game might be a blessing in disguise for Miami, Ohio, and not having all that pressure of the undefeated season and all that talk coming in. I mean, I really like how they play. It's just, they're not the most athletic team. SMU's definitely got better athleticism, but like Jordan was saying, they shoot it really well. They pass it really well. They know how to win. I mean, I probably lay off betting on this one because I'm not sure.
It's actually a shame because I think I actually think SMU is a talented team. Like I think they have some really I think Pierre's definitely an NBA player. So I think he'll probably come in and he might do the whole combine thing. I think his draft stock's going to go up tremendously when people actually see him against some of the top prospects. So for me, I think it's going to be an eye test thing. So they'll have some NBA guys, and then you'll have like a real good team effort and 2 guys who are like NBA level shooters for Miami of Ohio. So it's going to be a fun game either way. I think both of these teams are misseeded, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, SMU smoked my Tar Heels earlier in the year, and then after that, they just had like they just did not play well after that, really. So I don't know.
Yeah, Boopy Miller is good, though. I remember him from last year. And he's got a great name, Boopy.
Yeah, fun to say. He dominated us. He just absolutely dominated Carolina. He went off.
Yeah, Miami, Ohio is first in the country in points, 90.7. SMU's defense is ranked 277th. So allowing 77.6 points per game. Miami, Ohio is number 1 in field goal percentage, number 3 in field goals made, number 9 in 3-point percentage. So yeah, they got a lot of good offensive stats here. The over under is 164. Just mentioned, SMU, let's see what they have allowed. They allowed 85 to Louisville, 81 to Notre Dame, 77 to Miami, 91 to FSU, just 62 to Louisville, 69 to Syracuse. But, Miami, Ohio averages, 90 a game. So you figure, what can they get here? Maybe 80. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like the over, but I think I'm going to go with the 6.5. And they're playing in Ohio. The crowd is going to be ruckus. They're going to be behind them. SMU doesn't really have a lot of big wins this year. I just want to check SMU's road schedule real quick, see if they have any key road wins.
Yeah, it seems like there'll be way more excitement around the Miami team, SMU.
Yeah, I just feel like maybe everybody and their mother is probably going to bet Miami of Ohio, but maybe not. Maybe people will feel like, they're overrated and, they played in a shitty conference and, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll take the 6.5. It would be very underwhelming if SMU just came out and beat the shit out of them.
I think SMU has a shot. I think they have a shot. I think it'll be close though. I don't think they'll beat the shit out of Miami, Ohio. Okay. I wouldn't bet the spread on this. I just avoid this game. I think it's gonna be close.
Okay. All right. Well, that cleans up the first four. We did a little roundabout. We had to go back and pick up the trash that we left behind. But we cleaned it up. So let's get back to the Thursday games. We're going to continue on with High Point, 150 getting 10 against Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I just recently saw in the Big Ten tournament. And I was like, wow, these two guards are unbelievable. And they're playing without their best player. And they were like they were a favorite 9.5. In the first game, I bet on them in the conference tournament against Illinois, and they beat Illinois 91-88. And then there were 12.5-point dogs to Michigan. I'm like, oh man, I'm taking freaking Wisconsin again. And they almost won that game. They lost by just 3. So I like Wisconsin a lot. I think they win this game, but I know some people kind of like High Point. Do you guys have either one of you seen High Point this year?
Yeah. Doc, you want to go?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of them. That's actually my dad and brother still live in High Point, North Carolina.
Oh, nice.
Very close to this college. They're tough. They made the tournament last year, but Wisconsin, I think, might be the best shooting team in the tournament. I mean, they can get so hot and just play with anybody by banging 15 threes or more. And I just think they've got too much talent for High Point. I mean, High Point's a solid team, but it's another level to be playing somebody like Wisconsin who's obviously playing right there with the top teams in the country and sometimes beating them. So, going to be a tough challenge for High Point.
Yeah, before you go, Jordan, High Point 30-4 this year. They've lost 1 game since December 16th.
I'm going to be the upset special predictor here. I'm going with High Point. These guys defend, okay? And this is from someone I actually love Wisconsin, how they've played this year. I think they've looked amazing. Nick Boyd is a former Jersey guy. He went prep, but he was originally he played in Bergen County, I believe, and he was I was looking at him for different reasons for scouting stuff, and he really developed into the player he is today. 20 points a game. He was on Florida Atlantic's team when they had all those runs. He's tremendous. I can't say enough about Nick Boyd. Now, when I saw High Point, they look like a contender to me as a mid-major. I think that they're definitely an upset special. It's really hard to pick against Wisconsin given how they shoot, but I just think that this High Point team defends at such a high level. They'll come out with some energy, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be their night. I think that this guy Terry Anderson's all over the place. Cameron Fletcher, you remember him from I believe he's at Kentucky.
I think he played for Florida State at one point too.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around, but he's solid. They have some really good interior presences. This guy Scotty Washington's a really good athlete. Yeah, I think they have a few shooters as well. But I think they defend at an extremely high level. They have I'm looking at this now. They have like 6 guys averaging a steal or more per game. It's impressive.
Interesting. So yeah, 10-point dog. You like him to win outright at the upset. So pick him in your bracket if you want. They did destroy Furman. Again, back to Furman beginning of the year.
Back to Furman. Here we go.
Back to, and again, they've lost 1 game since December 16th, which was January 10th. They lost in overtime. Otherwise, they've just been on a huge winning streak. 30-4 in the year. But yeah, Nick Boyd, I saw him make a ridiculous move in the conference tournament. And then Blackwell had, I think Boyd and Blackwell both had like 30 apiece in each game. They were just going off. And then that guy Happ was like banging, like he had like 6 threes in a row against Michigan. He was on fire. So I mean, maybe I'll take High Point with the spread. Maybe a close game here, but I still think I'm going to take Wisconsin to advance, and I'll probably try to get maybe a guy or 2 in my player pool as well. Wisconsin, they did play your Villanova alum there, Team Jordan. They lost in overtime. They lost to TCU by 11 early in the year. They lost to BYU early in the year by 18. But then they went on to beat Michigan. They beat UCLA. They beat Ohio State. They beat Illinois, beat Michigan State. They beat Purdue. They beat Illinois again, and they just lost by 3 to Michigan. So early on, it didn't seem like they were playing too well, and then they kind of picked it up. Noah Winter is their hot leading scorer. He was out in the conference tournament. Sounds like he's questionable with a lower body injury. We'll see if he comes back. Obviously, that would be huge for them, give them another boost. But Josh, what do you think here, man? Do you like High Point as much as Jordan does here? Oh shit! There you go, bro. My bad.
It keeps kicking me off, but then
Yeah,
I
there you
get
go.
to recover.
There's the genie.
I was looking at the other screen. Go ahead.
High Point's starting to look like a regular in the tournament here. They spent a ton of money to upgrade their campus. I mean, just probably more money than any major college, it seems like. They're just pouring just obscene amounts into the new facilities. It looks like they're building a program there, so they're due to win something at some point. Get on the map. So why not now? A bad shooting day from Wisconsin's all it'll take.
I'm here.
Okay. I mean, for me, it's just like, okay, if they have enough weapons for High Point, where I feel comfortable saying like their guard play is decent enough that they could give them a few problems if Boyd isn't hitting or Blackwell isn't hitting, and then just in terms of like just how I think about it, like the next round I see Arkansas advancing, so I don't think either of these teams has a shot against Arkansas, so I'd rather pick the upset.
All right.
Okay. All right, let's keep it moving. Real quick, the total 165. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Based on it seems like High Point can really score. I know, Jordan, you mentioned their defense. Did you mention their defense?
Yeah, I mentioned
they led up to 87 to who the hell is this? Weber? I don't know. 77 to Radford, 87 to Winthrop, 76 to Winthrop. Wisconsin has been scoring 97, 85, 91, 90. I think I like this. I think I like this over here.
Yeah, Wisconsin can score. They really can shoot it.
Yeah, I think that I like this over, and I'm gonna go on your recommendation, Jordan, and take High Point with the points. All right. That's going to be an interesting one. Should be a fun watch there. 150 on Thursday rather. Now we go to Duke, the number 1 seed against Siena. Siena, back in the day, I think they won a couple tournament games out of the MAC conference. It's been a long time, but they're 20 and a half point dogs. Duke is waiting word on. Oh, he's out. Caleb Foster's out. We'll see if Nanjba, is that how you pronounce it, Jordan?
I don't think that's how you pronounce it.
Maybe Gongba.
Nagamba.
Okay.
They don't need him.
Chris Russo here.
They don't need him for this one. Siena looks like about the worst team that I saw out of maybe everybody.
This might be like a 50-point spread here.
Yeah, this could get ugly.
So we're taking
Boozer will probably have 40.
Okay.
It's the kind of game where Boozer's just going to completely dominate, and it's going to get ugly. But
all right. I'm fine with that. We don't need to expand on Siena too much.
Yeah.
We'll take Siena. We'll take Duke minus the 28.5, or maybe the first half is what you like better. Maybe Duke sit some guys down in the second half. Who knows?
Yeah, sure.
Or like you said, it could be a 40, 50 point blowout too. So all right, we'll take Duke in that one small little bet. It is a high spread. All right, this game's going to be real interesting. It's a 12-5. Vanderbilt, I was really impressed by in the conference tournament. The way they manhandled Florida, they played really great defense, and they battled with Arkansas as well. But I was watching McNeese. They were a popular pick last year or a couple years ago when Will Wade was there. Is he still their coach? No, right? He's gone now, right?
He's gone.
Yeah. But anyway, everybody and their mother picked them that year. I think they lost in the first round, but they're catching 11.5 here against Vanderbilt. I did like Vanderbilt. Jordan, what do you think here?
I'm going Vandy. It's tough. It's actually going to be a very close game. I'm not sure what the spread is, but I'm going Vandy because of Tyler Tanner. I think he's one of the best defensive prospects in the draft coming up, and I do like McNeese, but some of their guards are very lackadaisical with the ball, and I think Tyler Tanner is going to eat all game long. So we'll see on that from that standpoint. I think it's a bad matchup for McNeese because Vanderbilt's been playing very well down the stretch. I think that McNeese probably was I don't know. They're 12 seed is about right, but they just got a tough team in Vandy who's been playing well down the stretch.
Yeah, McNeese 28-5. They've been playing good ball. Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, McNeese fooled me. It was either last year or 2 years ago.
Two.
Where Gonzaga beat them by like 40. And it was horrible. And I bet them like way too much. So I'm not going to let them fool me again. You know, they're one of those teams that kind of overwhelms you with athleticism if they're bigger and more athletic than you. But if they're not, they're like gambling all the time and way out of position defensively. And Gonzaga carved them up, and I kind of expect Vandy to do the same.
So to be fair to that team, just the difference because I watched them today. The team, they can actually shoot the ball as opposed to the other team that they had was just like incredible. They had incredible athletes who would just turn you over, and their entire offense was generated off of turnovers. But this, like, I just watched them pretty recently, and they have more weapons from the 3-point line, definitely. And this conference was very underrated, so it's going to be tough. They have two newcomers. This guy Tyshawn Archie. He's a good shooter. He's really goofy with the ball. That's why I think Tyler Tanner is going to take control of this game. And they also got a freshman, Larry Johnson, one of the best freshmen in the country. He's like 6'4", and he's a really high-level athlete. He's probably going to up transfer next year. Yeah, he's very good. So
he averages 22 a game, and then Garcia averages 21.
20 a game? No, he's 17 and a half, and then Garcia's like 12. But
in the conference tournament, he averaged 20.
In the conference, yeah. Garcia was killing it from three all tournament long. I don't think that the defense from Vandy is just going to be too much.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of pissed when I saw McNeese was playing Vandy.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was kind of excited about them. Just watching them in the conference tournament, they did look freaking pretty athletic. They were making some really crazy plays.
They were at home, by the way. Just to note that's important to note that they're again in the Southland final. They were playing at home, and they're like almost undefeated at home.
Yeah, good note there.
Yeah,
this game. Where the hell is this game?
11.5 for Vandy.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where this game is being played. Hold on.
Oklahoma City.
Oh yeah, Oklahoma City. Yeah. Where the hell is McNeese? Does anybody know?
Texas.
It's Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so that's pretty cool for them.
Mm-hmm.
Bordering state there.
Yeah.
I've still got the scar. I still got the scar from that Gonzaga bet. I'll never bet on McNeese again. Probably. kind of like C.J. Stroud in that Texans game. It's like that one's gonna stick with me for a while.
Correction on that. They're out of Louisiana, Lake Charles.
Oh, okay. So
Will Wade was their coach the last time, right? And he's now in state.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanderbilt, they dominated Florida in that game. 91-74. They beat Tennessee twice this year.
They put them in the same part of the bracket too. Did you see that? I think that'd be a Sweet 16 matchup, Vandy and Florida.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yep. They killed St. Mary's on a neutral court. They beat up on VCU on a neutral court. So yeah, Vanderbilt's a really good team. Duke
Miles. I think he just came back recently and kind of put some energy into that team.
Yeah, he's good. I think I agree with Jordan. I like McNeese. They're fun, but it might just be a bad matchup for them. The total is 150.5. Anything on that from what you've seen between these two teams?
I feel like McNeese has high scoring games. They gamble a lot defensively, makes for some easy baskets or some either direction. Either getting some steals and some easy transition baskets or giving up some easy baskets when they're going for those steals. So, I mean, I don't mess too much with over-unders, but overs are always way more fun. So,
if you guys had to guess, what would you guess McNeese is in the country in steals?
Top 5, maybe 1.
Did you see that? They're number 1.
Are they?
10.5 steals a game, yeah.
Is that right? Serious.
I believe it. I mean, they go for all of them. They're out of position a lot going for steals. So
that's crazy.
We had a guy on my high school team like that. Everybody thought he was a great defender because he would get a couple steals per game. And I was like, this guy's actually the worst defender in the world. He goes for the steal every time, and if he doesn't get it, it's 5-on-4, which is usually he doesn't get it. And
it's like a corner. It's like a corner who gets 1 pick 6 every 4 games.
Exactly.
Lets up 70-yard touchdowns.
Exactly. He'd have 3 steals a game. He's such a good defender. I'm like, he's awful. He's the reason our defense is terrible.
That is interesting. That's what I noticed about them too. I'm like, wow, this team freaking stealing the ball left and right, jumping all over the place. The one steal, the guy that was pretty ridiculous. So that's gonna be a fun game to watch. I like Vanderbilt to advance though. Maybe I'll take McNeese with the points, but I don't expect them to. What's that?
I would take McNeese on the points. At 11.5 is pretty wide.
Josh, you still going with Vanderbilt no matter what, right?
I mean, I think they win the game. It's a decent amount of points, That's
a lot of points.
All right. Yeah. All right, let's make this one quick. Michigan State versus North Dakota State. North Dakota State stinks. This conference never wins. Michigan State's going to take care of business here, -16. You guys can give me some thoughts on Michigan State real quick, though, if you want. Do you see them making a deep run in the tournament?
I'm rarely a believer in Michigan State. I feel like they're always one of the toughest teams. They fight really hard. They play really hard. They're always great rebounding, but they usually don't shoot it very well. They've got a lot of inconsistent shooters on that team. I always want to pick them to lose, but Tom Izzo usually finds a way to win most of these games. They usually find their way to the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 somehow. I really wanted to pick them to lose, but I think they're too strong, too athletic, and too strong for this North Dakota State team. Just gonna beat them up.
Yeah, Jordan, any thoughts there? Michigan State.
I think that Michigan State's going to destroy them in every way.
Yeah, I mean, this conference never does anything, whether it's South Dakota State or freaking South Dakota.
Oral Roberts.
Oral Roberts, yeah. Oral Roberts actually had that great run. That's true. That 1 year. But if you're a South Dakota State or Jackrabbits or North Dakota, they always lose in the first round usually.
Yeah, usually just not nearly athletic enough to play with these top teams.
But we do like to leave no stone unturned here, but I just don't see it.
They can really shoot the ball, North Dakota State. They got a lot of good shooters, but it's going to be hard to find space to get the shots off. It's going to be their problem.
What do you guys think? What's that?
I was going to say the bigs on Michigan State can shoot. So it's Carson Cooper really he's shown a decent amount. Jackson Kohler, he can step out. I think, yeah. And then defensively, they just lock in. It's going to be a problem.
What do you guys think about Jeremy Fears? He's Jeremiah Fears' brother, right? Or no?
I'm not sure about that.
Don't think so.
Okay. But what do you guys think about him?
He's a great competitor. I mean, just phenomenal competitor. It's going to be hard for him in the NBA. He's small. He's not a great outside shooter. I mean, he's going to have to improve his 3-point shot if he's going to be in the NBA.
I mean,
he's a winner.
Yeah, his Jeremiah Fears is his brother, older brother.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah. I mean, he's a winner. He's put up some crazy assist numbers. I've seen him have like 15, 16 assists in a game a few times.
Really good in the pick and roll. I'll say that. I just like in terms of his ability to shoot it, it's just he has a decent stroke. It's just like from three, he's not consistent. And I feel like he doesn't set up his shot in a way that like will allow him shot creation at the next level. And he kind of just picks, and if he picks his spots kind of well, but I don't know. I don't. I think he's going to be one of the most important pieces for his team. Obviously, if he's got to make great decisions, he's got to involve everyone and make sure that they find 3-point shooters, because otherwise they're just going to be like bully balling everyone, or just like outplaying them in transition with Colin Carr, who's like a freak level athlete. But I think defensively, Fears really locks in. It's important defensively, as well as Jordan Scott is usually defensive top player on the other team. He's excellent. A freshman as well, just to note. I expect him to get some looks.
Okay.
Yeah, I've gotten burned picking against Michigan State in the tournament a few times recently.
Me
I
too.
keep picking them to lose, and they just keep winning. So,
I mean,
Fears is a nice, solid player that you need in the tournament.
Yeah,
he only averaged 7 points last year. He's averaging 15 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wills them to wins every game. It seems like when I watch them, I feel like they're not all that talented, but they play so hard, and they're just tough to beat.
Looking ahead, I think they could have a problem with either Louisville or South Florida.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be a really tough second round game. But after that, I mean, I'm pretty down on UConn this year and UCLA. I think they have a decent shot to advance pretty far if they can win the second game.
Yeah, it seems kind of wide open in that part of the bracket there.
For sure.
Okay. Next game here, Hawaii versus Arkansas. Well, I think we all like Arkansas minus 15. Hawaii, that's another conference that never does anything. But Hawaii, this is like the first time I've seen them in a tournament in a long time. I don't remember the Rainbows in the tournament in a long time. But the Big West, UC Irvine and UC Cal Fullerton, and they don't really make much noise. Santa Barbara, Riverside. This conference kind of stinks. Long Beach State never really does anything in the tournament. So I think Arkansas takes care of business here. I'd probably take them on the spread too as well. Do you guys have any thoughts on Hawaii real quick?
I mean, that they didn't look great. I watched them, a couple highlights. I expect them to get down pretty good. I mean, I don't really trust Arkansas all that much. Like, they're super talented. One of the most talented teams. I've been saying that all year long. Like, one of the first articles I wrote of the year was about how this is the most talented team in the country, but they haven't put it together until recently. I mean, I feel like Calipari had struggled to find his optimal lineup throughout the whole year. I think he might have finally found something here in the last couple of weeks, and obviously they put it together in the SEC tournament. And I love Darius Acuff. I feel like this guy is going to do everything possible to will this team to win. So I wouldn't want to play them. And I think Hawaii just does not have the talent to hang with them. It's a lot of points, but they'll probably still cover.
Yeah, Acuff 30, 24, 37. Didn't play against Missouri. Had 28. Yeah, 49 against Alabama. 49.
Yeah, I mean,
holy shit.
He's a
potential number one pick. Do you guys both think he's could be the number one or should be the number one?
I don't think he will be. I don't think he will be, but I think that's who I would take.
I think he goes top 5 minimum.
Yeah.
Maybe top 3.
I don't think he'll be number one. I think it's going to be Peterson or Devonsa, but I would take Acuff.
I mean, we'll see what happens at the tournament. Acuff could really build up his stock even more. He's already built it up a ton. If Peterson doesn't have a great tournament, he does.
Yeah, I mean, if Arkansas wins the title, he'll probably be a number one pick.
But that's kind of Cal. Before you go, George, that's kind of Calipari's calling card. His teams always start kind of slow, and they have look shitty, and then they build up towards the end of the year, and they look better. And a lot of these guys were on the team last year, like Brazil, and Wagner. Was Richmond on the team last year too?
Yes.
Richmond. So now they got another year experience, which is key. And yeah, they look good. Their defense is kind of spotty, but with Acuff, it's pretty ridiculous. That guy Ewan's a big guy.
I like Ewan. I feel like they haven't been playing him enough. That's been part of the problem because they struggle to rebound a lot at times, and I think he could really help them with that. And when he's in there, I feel like they're a better team.
Malik Thomas is pretty nice as well.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Arkansas, Jordan? How far do you think they can go in the tournament?
I think they could possibly go to the finals even. Like, I think that they have the talent to do so, like Josh just mentioned. Where they are in the bracket, let's see. They have to face off against Arizona. That's a tough one. Arizona's just a tough team. So if they can get past Wisconsin, or if High Point manages to pull the upset, they have a tough road. If they play Wisconsin's difficult, especially if they make it into the second game. And then if they're facing off against Arizona, I'm just going to go ahead and say that it's going to be Arizona over Villanova or Utah State. That's going to be it's already decided right now. And then, I think they just have the most talent. I think they have enough size. I know that Hawaii has a 7-footer, Isaac Johnson, who's solid. He can shoot it, but they're just going to be way more physical, and they're just going to steal the ball from him. So I think Brazil is such a freak athlete, and just protecting the rim and everything like that. I think, and then Pringle on the interior. I think it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to play this team. I think that they're streaking at the right time. Acuff is phenomenal. Thomas has been great. Brazil actually looks decent as well. He's shooting 36% from three. Yeah, which is crazy because I never expected to see that. And then Wagner, you know what he can do as well off the bench. So they have a lot of weapons.
6,000 to 1 to win the national championship. So 60 to 1. Plus 6,000 rather, 60 to 1. So that's a good futures bet. Take a shot on Arizona, right?
Or on Arkansas. I remember if you look at it, who did they lose to last year? That game, I think it was against Florida.
Is it Florida? They were winning too, weren't they?
Winning a lot. No. It was against the team that played Florida tough, right?
Remember they beat St. John's.
They beat St. John's as who were the 2 seed.
And maybe Texas Tech too. Was it Texas Tech?
Oh yeah, I think it might have
been Texas Tech. That's what it was. They played them in overtime. That was such a tough game. They really should have won that Texas Tech game.
Yeah, they blew it. They blew that game.
Really blew that game. So
that's my problem with Arkansas. I feel like I just don't trust them. I feel like their defense isn't consistent enough. They make too many mistakes. But I think they're just as talented as anybody in the country, and they have the best player, in my opinion. So you can't count him out. I think Acuff really wants this. He's going to be tough to beat him. He's going to probably score 30-plus points every time.
Yeah, I get Walter Clayton vibes from him, like a another guy that could just carry a team through the tournament.
He just doesn't make mistakes. Every time he's hitting, even though he's scoring all those points, he's hitting the right passer or the right shooter in the corner. He's always making the right reads. So that's something to note. He's the winner.
Mm-hmm. And he always takes responsibility. I've noticed that in the post-game interviews. They'll ask him about the team, and he's always just like, I can do more. I can do more. And you love to hear that out of a guy, even though half the time it's not really true. But you like to hear him taking responsibility no matter what. He's not throwing his teammates under the bus or anything.
Cal Poly scored 86 on Hawaii. Cal State Northridge 84. Cal State Fullerton 85. Long Beach State 84. So what's Arkansas going to score? Probably 100.
Seems like a great over. Probably about 150.
This does seem like a good over here.
It really does.
And Hawaii could kind of score a little bit. I mean, if they could score at least 60, I would think. So the over under is 160. I would take the over with Arkansas here.
Yeah, that sounds good. I might actually take that one. I don't do a whole lot of over-unders, but that sounds like a really good one.
That's what I look at. I kind of look at what other teams are scoring against them, and then I compare it to the team they're playing, and I try to come up with a number I think that they could score, and kind of go by the over under on that. Usually works
No
out decent.
60. That's tough.
Well,
So
I think Arkansas is going to score 100 points in this game. So
That's-
based off what Hawaii is allowing to fucking Long Beach State 84, Cal State Fullerton 85. I mean,
It's pretty
Yeah.
shitty.
bad shooting day. Like they could take them not very seriously. They don't have to run up the score against them if they're like up a decent amount. You know what I mean? They might just like halt the brakes if it's like 100. It's not going to be 100 to 60 because they would just pull their guys off. You know what I mean? So they don't risk injury.
yeah.
So 100 points a lot.
I think Arkansas. I'm going to call. I think Arkansas is going to score 100, and Hawaii is going to score 63, and we're going to get the over.
Arkansas can give up some
Actually,
points.
the better bet there is just to take Arkansas minus 15 if I think that's when they score. So
Yeah.
I don't think Hawaii is going to score 85. So
Yeah, no.
Probably not.
Who was the dude from Oakland that went off a few years ago in the tournament?
I can't remember his name. I remember him nailing all those threes though.
All right, well we'll
They
get
beat
to
Kentucky.
that.
They beat Kentucky, right?
We'll get to that in a couple games because the guy that we'll get to that. I'm going to ask you guys if you think he could pull off.
Like Jack Volke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was Trey. What's his name? Trey. He's like a hybrid big. Trey. I think he played the high major this year. Trey something. Townsend or something like that.
Trey Townsend. Yeah, he played for Arizona at one point, right?
Yeah.
Did he go to Arizona?
Oh yeah, Trey Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
Who does he play for now?
He might be out of college basketball now.
College basketball, but he played for.
Why do we bring him up?
Because we were talking about Oakland.
Oh, right. And who did they beat that year? Oakland.
Kentucky, I think.
Oh, Kentucky. Wow.
Crazy game.
That was with Dillingham and.
Oh yeah! Oh my God.
That team.
Dillingham.
They had all those guys that were first-round draft picks and just got beat by Oakland.
I mean, that should tell you something about Dillingham, right?
Yeah, he hadn't done much.
Oh, that tells you something about that's the truth. I mean, Josh brings up a good point. Like that's the Calipari teams. Like either they make good runs or they have all this talent. They get kind of knocked out early. It does happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's at best his recruiting is his best aspect. As a coach, I don't think he's nearly as good as he is a recruiter, and kind of shows. I mean, he gets a ton of talent. He has a hard time like putting it together all season. He can't figure out who his best lineup is until March. And then at that point, if it takes you until March to figure out who your best 5 players are, it's hard to like put your best effort together at that point. You know, you really need to be playing with those guys all year long so that they're used to playing together.
Yeah, it does seem like he's got, like I said, but it did mention the experience. These guys, a lot of these guys, Brazil, Richmond, Wagner, now second year. They did win the SEC championship, so it does seem like they got something going. They're a little more stable. This seems like a somewhat stable Arkansas team, but we'll have to see.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, I think they're dangerous too. I think they can make a run, but they do have to go through Arizona, which would be tough.
It's a tough draw.
All right, let's get into your boys, Josh. Carolina giving 2 to VCU. VCU has a long history of success in this tournament. Going back to Eric Maynor against Duke. I think that's kind of how it all kicked off when they upset Duke in the first round years ago, and then they kind of just built their success from there. And VCU's been a steady name in the Atlantic 10 for years. They kind of own that conference. And, Carolina loses their best player.
Devastating.
So what do you think about Carolina here against VCU, Josh?
It's a devastating loss for us. I mean, when we hear Caleb Wilson out for the season, that's season over for us essentially. We still got some talent. We're still going to be bigger than them. Visar should have a field day in there. If he doesn't dominate, then I don't know what he's doing out there because he's got a huge size advantage. VCU's had a lot of coaching turnover, so I feel like they haven't been quite as good in the last few years as they were, 5-10 years ago. But they're same team as usual, though. They're athletic. They're tough defensively, can struggle to shoot. I think Carolina can get by this one, I hope. But, I don't have a whole lot of hope for them after that.
What do you think here, Jordan?
I'm going to go VCU. I think Seth Trimble is a really good player. I think he has a big game, but I just don't. Yeah, I just think that VCU is like streaking right now in a positive way. I think they always have decent defensive intensity. I think that they'll just pressure Carolina and force pop up some turnovers. And without Caleb Wilson, I think he was a stabilizing factor. I think it's not the same Carolina team. So.
Definitely not. Yeah, we're definitely much worse without him. And our guards are definitely so if they're pressing us full court, it could get kind of ugly. That no one's really done that to us this year, which I'm kind of surprised because our guards are inexperienced other than Trimble, but he's not really much of a ball handler necessarily. I mean, he can get to the basket, but it's not his strong suit. And our point guards have been shaky. So, yeah, I mean, I would be pressing us for sure, and I'm sure they will.
VCU has not lost since middle of January. They're on fire right now, so they're playing really good basketball. They swept through that conference tournament. They took care of Dayton. They took care of St. Joe's. I'm sorry. The last loss was St. Louis, February 20th. But before that, their last loss was January 10th. St. Louis is in the tournament as well. So the A-10's got 2 teams in. They did lose to St. Louis twice this year. They lost to Vanderbilt by 15. They beat South Florida by 12. And they lost to NC State by 6. And they lost to Utah State by 3.
What's the spread in this game? 2?
2. Carolina's given 2 to VCU.
I wouldn't bet on this game. Who knows?
I mean, kind of a downer for Carolina. I mean, I feel like it's hard for them to get super excited with. We had such a great player, probably the best player we've had in decades, and he's out for the year. It's tough to take,
Yeah, that sucks.
The motivation's not the same.
This game is in Greenville, South Carolina, so obviously bordering state, but VCU took close to Virginia, and they got a really good following. All those years, I remember going to the Atlantic 10 tournament in Brooklyn. They always had a great following, and their band was always great. So they'll be loud and proud, I'm sure. So that's good. It's gonna be a good game to watch.
There'll be a lot of Carolina fans in that building. Greenville, yeah, sure. We travel well to Greenville. It's not very far.
True. So yeah, it'll probably be Carolina dominated. Any thoughts on the total here? 153. Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I like the points. I mean, I think it could be a high scoring game, but those are tough for me.
Over there. All right, keep it moving here. Texas A&M, 7:30, by the way, on Thursday here. So we're getting into the night games now. 7:30, St. Mary's versus Texas A&M, 7-10 matchup. Texas A&M's getting 3.5 rather against St. Mary's. Total is 147. Jordan, who do you like here?
I like St. Mary's. I think St. Mary's has had a banner year. It's one of their best years, actually. I think that they just have a program that just keeps producing guys and really just like it's a system, and their system is always producing. Maraskis, I think he's going to have a big game. Dent's been shooting the ball pretty well. They just retool every single year, and this year they're solid. So I really think that I'm expecting St. Mary's to pull this off. I don't think it'll be close either.
Wow. Okay. That makes me feel. I kind of like taking St. Mary's in the tournament. What do you think, Josh? Same.
Yeah, I really like the St. Mary's team. This is one of my favorite versions of St. Mary's. Guy Mikey Lewis, I feel like has a chance to be a pro.
He's good, yeah.
Baraskis, he mentioned. They just play really smart basketball. They can shoot it like usual, and Texas A&M cannot shoot it. They really struggle to shoot the ball. They're super athletic, but that's going to be their one. If they can just dominate them athletically,
That's the problem. That's been the problem with St. Mary's, though. Like, remember when they played Grand Canyon that one year in the first year?
Yeah.
Grand Canyon was just way more athletic than them.
Yeah,
and they just couldn't.
I think
play
this is a more athletic team than usual from St. Mary's. I think
Mikey Lewis is a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, he's very good. So I think they do. I think they get it done this time.
You agree there, Jordan, right? You're not worried about Texas A&M's athleticism overwhelming St. Mary's here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. All right, I'm down with St. Mary's. Giving 3.5. Where the hell is this game? This game is in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, it's close to Texas A&M.
Yeah. Texas A&M, I feel like they haven't made a good run in the tournament in a while, right? I mean,
was it a couple of years ago they played Houston really tough? Yeah, Buzz Williams. Remember that crazy game they played Houston? It went to like multiple overtimes. I feel like we were watching at that cricket spot. I had some money on Texas A&M, so
that's why you remember that one. Yeah.
I remember that one well. I had a lot of the players in the pool. That was a devastating loss. Another one I remember for a while.
Yeah, I get worried about St. Mary's when they face athletic teams. They can't do what they usually want to do like they do in their conference. But I'll go with you guys here. -3.5. Total 147. Jordan, any thoughts on that one?
I mean, I really don't have any thoughts on the total on this one. I think it could be a. I'm gonna go. I mean, I'll probably go under. It's pretty low.
All right, let's keep it moving here. Penn wins the Ivy League against Yale. Watching that game, Yale made a big mistake, I thought, and that guy seems like a pretty good coach. I don't know. Did you guys watch that game or no?
I did watch that.
I don't know why they didn't foul TJ Power. The guy had 44 points. I
think he was a Duke recruit.
Dude, he was going off. He was 7 of 13 6 of 13 from 3 at that point, or 6 of 14 from 3. And they don't foul him. They're down. They're up 3. They don't foul, and the guy bangs a 3 to put it into overtime, and they lose in overtime. This guy Power has 44 points. I mean, that's ridiculous. He was on fire. So when I was talking about the Oakland guy, I feel like this guy Power could be like one of those guys that could lead Penn. And we've seen the Ivy League teams do fairly well. Now, Penn wasn't really the best team in their conference. It was Yale and Harvard, I think, were the 1 and 2 seeds. But Illinois obviously presents a tough matchup as well. That they obviously have a lot of talent. Do you guys see Penn possibly pulling off an upset here?
No.
Absolutely not.
I feel like Illinois
24.5 point under.
Illinois is one of the most talented offensive teams in this tournament. I look for them to just put a ton of points on Penn. TJ Power, like I said, I think he was recruited by Duke. I think he actually was on Duke for maybe a year and then left. So he's a big-time recruit. It's not too surprising to see him dominating the small conference. But yeah, Illinois, one of the most talented offensive teams in college basketball.
Not playing good basketball down the stretch, though. I mean, they've lost 3 of their last 5, 5 of their last 9. So yeah, they're kind of struggling down the stretch here. And I don't know. There's some about Illinois I don't really trust. I don't know what it is. I just, but yeah, I mean, 24.5 point dog. I'll probably just take Penn with the points. I don't know if I see an upset. I don't know if I see an upset here. Actually, Penn was 3rd in the Ivy at 18-11. So, Jordan, what are your thoughts on Illinois? Do you think they can make a deep run? I think they got knocked out kind of early last year, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Penn. I like Penn on the spread just because it's 24.5. I think that they'll at least keep it close with some threes. Illinois, I think they have a shot to take things pretty far. I think they'll advance at least beyond the next round. And then it's a question of it's a style contrast of like Houston or St. Mary's. I think if they're playing St. Mary's, they'll win. If they play Houston, they'll probably lose. because I think that Houston's just more physical and that they'll have an issue. I think Wagler will have a ton of turnovers. Yeah, I think that they're too talented and they have great size. I don't see Penn doing anything with the Illinois size there. So I think Illinois is at least making it for the Sweet 16 this year.
Yeah.
All right, Jared's got a question. We talked about this earlier. He's got a picture of Jared Alexander in his photo. What's going on with Jared Alexander? I think he didn't retire, and he went to the Ravens and then didn't play. Then I don't know if he retired, but anyway, he says, "What's your thoughts on Arkansas over Arizona in the Sweet 16?"
I mean, Arizona's been the best team, I feel like, for the whole at least the second half of the season. I feel like they're the safer play. Arkansas has the talent to beat them, but I don't trust them to do it.
I think it's a tough call. I might pick Arkansas, but I think it's there's no reason for me to say that, to be honest, because Arizona has, based on what Arizona has done this year, the past few seasons, if I watch the NCAA tournament, I feel like that coach, I really have just like kind of given up on them, like making it all the way to the final. Like I feel like Arizona always has like one bad week in the NCAA tournament. That's just my sentiment, and I feel like was Coach Tommy Lloyd?
Yeah,
I like to look at coaches in terms of like in terms of seeing how they make adjustments, in terms of seeing how far a team can go. I think Arkansas is hot enough that they could upset them. It's going to be hard though, for sure. The size is they're giving up the size big time.
Yeah, I think they're two of the most talented teams in terms of NBA talent. I think they both have as many as maybe 6 NBA players on their roster, and anything could happen in one game. But if they played 10 times, I'd probably take Arizona to win 9 of them. Just because they're more consistent, their defense is better, and they've just been doing it all season long. And Arkansas just don't trust them quite as much. But I do think Arkansas is the best player on the floor.
Yeah, Tommy Lloyd hasn't been past the Sweet 16 yet. I think he's been there, 4 years or 5 years maybe?
I kept picking him, too, in previous years. And he had some talent. It's just right, like Caleb Love was there, right?
Yeah.
Look what he's doing in the NBA. And he had a big run with Carolina. So
almost won it. Should have won it, really. Blew a 20-point lead against Kansas in the championship. That was rough.
Yeah.
All right. Penn, Illinois. I'm going to take Penn with the points. Total 151. I'll probably just shoot for the over, but
yeah, the over's probably good. Illinois puts up a lot of points.
And then maybe TJ Powers goes for freaking another 35.
Yeah, maybe.
You take him in a player pool or DFS. Probably be fairly cheap, I would think. All right, St. Louis. They haven't been in the tournament in a while. I mean, they were good. Like I don't know when Rick Majerus was there. I think maybe Travis Ford had some 40-year-old guys playing for him illegally on the team. Maybe I think when he was there. But, they're playing Georgia. Jordan, what do you think about this matchup? 2.5 for St. Louis, getting a 2.5, 169.5 over under.
I like St. Louis. I think they're going to pull it out. The A10 is an underrated conference year in and year out, and they always put it together in the end. So I think that I would give it, even though they kind of slipped in the conference tournament. I think that they have Robbie Avila from transfer from Indiana State, I believe, and he's solid. He's an interesting player. He can stroke it. I think that St. Louis is going to have the edge.
Jordan, Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, I like St. Louis as well. For me, Georgia, great athleticism, but they struggle to really put together smart basketball. They can struggle to shoot at times. Just it looks disjointed out there, and I feel like St. Louis just plays a better brand of basketball. I think they looked like they'd have a chance to go undefeated there early in the season. And then they lost a real tough one to Stanford, just a crazy couple, like they gave up like 8 points in 15 seconds to blow that, and then they lost a few late in the season. But yeah, I like the Avila kid. They're a good team.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him from last year for sure. He's a good player. Georgia, any thoughts on them? I mean, they just seem like, a SEC team. They score a lot of points. They let up a lot of points. Let's see who they beat. They got killed by Florida. They beat Kentucky. They lost to Vanderbilt. They beat Alabama. They lost to Florida twice. He beat Cincinnati on a neutral court. Beat Clemson. Lost to Clemson on a neutral court. So yeah, no really great wins for them. I mean, they beat Kentucky and Alabama.
They've got some impressive athletes. I mean, they got Kenan Catchings from BYU transferred there, but they're kind of, they hadn't played together, a lot of them, so you can tell. It's not very smooth out there.
Okay, so we like St. Louis with the points here, right? Both of you?
Yeah, I'll take St. Louis.
Yeah.
Plus 2.5. All right. Where is this game? Where the hell is this game? All right, we'll come back to that. Let's get to the next game. It is going to be Kennesaw State, the infamous Kennesaw State, catching 20 against Gonzaga. Gonzaga, 30-3, another really good season for them. It doesn't seem like they're getting as much respect as they have gotten in the past, but they are a 3 seed going up against Kennesaw State. I don't remember ever Kennesaw State making to the tournament. What are your thoughts on Gonzaga this year, Josh? I know you liked them a lot early in the year, but then you changed your tune.
I mean, I still like them. They got Tyon Grant Foster. I know Jordan likes him. I think he might have won him a player pool one year. He was just going off for Grand Canyon. Yeah. But yeah, they got Graham Ike, who's probably in like his 15th season at Gonzaga. He's been in college basketball forever. I don't know how he's still there. I mean, they're a big team. They look like they're playing really well, and like I said, that conference has gotten better. I think it's better than it's ever been, and they still won it. They still won regular season, still won the tournament. They're dangerous. Yeah, they're a dangerous team. I think they could easily make a Elite Eight run potentially, and once you get there, anything can happen. So.
Gonzaga, they beat Alabama on a neutral court by 10, got killed by Michigan by 40.
Yeah.
Then killed Kentucky on a neutral court, beat UCLA on a neutral court. And they split with St. Mary's this year. And like you said, they beat Santa Clara, who made the tournament. So this is like the first time I remember this conference.
3 teams.
WCC getting 3 teams. Yeah, what do you think here, Jordan, about Gonzaga?
I like Gonzaga. I think they have a chance to make a really deep run. I think Purdue is vulnerable, even though they won that the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten, the biggest takeaway, I could be very, very wrong, but I think the Big Ten is going to be proved to be very overrated. That's my take this year. I think Michigan's going to be overrated. I think Illinois is going to prove that they're overrated. I think they'll win a few games, but I think when it comes down to playing the real top programs, I think they're going to flame out earlier than expected.
Yeah, it seems like Michigan peaked about halfway through the season. I mean, they were playing amazing when they beat Gonzaga by 40. I mean, they would have won the national championship if you played it back in November. So, but I don't know about now.
Yeah, E.K. Huff, like you said, Grant Foster, and nobody's really talking about Gonzaga. And all these years, Mark Few's been waiting for a national championship. I mean, maybe they could make a deep run here and surprise some people when nobody's really talking about him.
Yeah, this would be a sneaky one to steal his first one.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the fact that nobody's really talking about him. Maybe they'll make a deep run here. But I expect them to take care of business here. I don't see any upsets from Kennesaw State. You guys have any thoughts on Kennesaw State 20-point dogs here? Do you like anything about them, or have any thoughts on them at all?
Yeah, I mean they're got a solid athletic team. I mean I just don't think they're going to be able to do much against Gonzaga. Though Gonzaga just way more talent, and I think they're a lock to make the Sweet 16. And then Purdue, if they play Purdue there, it's a tough matchup. But I mean, Mark Few's always great in the tournament. He's due, like you said. So I fully expect them to make a little run at it.
Simeon Cotty averages 20 points a game. Oh, he's hurt. It looks like their best player is hurt, so that doesn't help.
They're in trouble.
He was their leading scorer, and he's out. So now their leading scorer is some guy named Johnson. Averages 14. All right, well that'll hurt. So that hurts Kennesaw State's chances as well. So let's go with Gonzaga. 154.5 is the total. Based off what I'm seeing here, 82 by Delaware, 87 by Western Kentucky, 87 by Missouri State. Gonzaga could put up like 90 here.
Seems like an over.
Yeah. They could shut them down though. Yeah, could be. It's gonna be close. I would say I would lean over there. All right, let's move on. Next game: Idaho versus Houston. Idaho.
Glad you said it.
Plus 23.
This team should be 16. Why the hell are they 15?
What? Why is Idaho a 15 seed?
Yeah, they're terrible.
The night games are pretty. The last two games: Gonzaga versus Kennesaw and Idaho versus Houston.
They got a guy Rasmussen though that was pretty impressive in one of the games I saw, but it's Houston.
I'm taking the over for Houston. But Houston's going to blow this team out of the water.
Yeah.
Taking Houston minus 23.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're just too tough.
40.
Too tough for a team like this. Idaho just does not have the athleticism or the toughness to be able to compete.
Kind of unusual for a Houston team. I mean, Kelvin Sampson doesn't really. Usually his team has like 2, 3, 4 losses. This year they lost 6 games, which isn't a lot, but usually they're a little more dominant. Do you think Houston could win the national championship this year after losing in the finals last year when they should have won that game? What do you think, Jordan?
I don't see it. I think that now they have a bunch of freshmen. I think they're impressive, but I think that they'll come to play, and I think they'll do damage and make it to like the Elite Eight, maybe even the Final Four. But it's just I don't see them beating either Duke or whoever comes out of that region, and then on the other side, either like Arizona, Arkansas, Michigan, or whoever's on that side. I don't see them winning against like 5 of those teams. So I think that their upside's kind of capped. I think they'll run through the teams that are worse, and they're just going to win on physicality and just their playing style. But I just don't. I think they'll make it maybe to the Elite Eight. I don't see them making the Final Four.
What are your thoughts? I mean, Uzan, man, he was so good last year. Now he's only averaging 11 points. This kid Flemings is the leading scorer with 16. Sharp averages 15. What are your thoughts on this kid Flemings? Is he a NBA prospect?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's definitely proven that he can run the show for them, and he's been one of their best scorers all season long. He makes good plays, makes good passes. Sanak also is another guy who's getting some NBA looks. He can stretch the floor. He's like a big, so he can shoot it. He can really shoot it. They have talent like that. They're still very young. So if Flemings comes to play and he brings it, he takes everything to another level, it's possible that they do like prove me wrong. But I just don't see it. I feel like they've had games like where they really get stagnant, like against Kansas earlier this year. So I see one of those games coming through at some point.
Yeah, I mean, they lost to Tennessee in a neutral court. They beat Auburn by 1 on a neutral court. They beat Syracuse in overtime neutral court early in the year. They beat Arkansas on a neutral court by 9. And then in conference, they beat BYU. They lost to Kansas, like you mentioned. Lost to Texas Tech. And they lost to Iowa State as well. In the conference tournament, they beat BYU. They destroyed Kansas. They manhandled Kansas in that game. And then they were down in that Arizona game. They made a fight back, but they still lost by 5. So, like I said, they just don't seem as dominant, but they still could be kind of sneaky. They could make a run. Kelvin Sampson's definitely due for a championship. We'll see if he ever gets one. But I just think Uzan's got to step up in the tournament. I mean, he's such a key player for them. He just seems like he's been kind of passive, I guess, because this kid Flanks is coming and kind of take a lot of the offensive output away from him. But I think he needs to step up in the tournament. We'll see if that happens. All right, Josh, any more thoughts on Houston before we get into Friday's games?
Yeah, I mean, with Uzan, it's a big difference when you have the ball in your hands all the time versus when someone else is dominating the ball and you're having to play off of it a lot. Like, I've definitely experienced that in my life to where, it's a lot easier to get in a rhythm when you have the ball all the time. And then if you're moved off the ball, then it's a lot easier to get lost out there, not get any touches, and then you not as involved. But, I mean, this team's still dangerous. I think Kingston Flemings is great. I mean, arguably a top 5 player in this draft. And, he's young, but they're always very tough. I think they probably have one of the best draws in the bracket. I mean, one of the easiest paths, at least. So
I agree.
And they're playing in Houston too, right?
OKC to start with, I know, right?
I think the Sweet 16 Elite Eight is in Houston. Yeah.
Wow, that's a big edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is key. You're right. Their road is pretty good. I mean, you get to St. Mary's or Texas A&M, they seem like a lock for the Sweet 16. And then they would play what, ECU or North Carolina,
Illinois, probably Illinois. I think Illinois. I think Illinois is almost a lock to be there.
I agree.
Yeah, they could definitely beat Illinois. So yeah, I kind of like their road too.
Yeah, they're just so tough. I think that's where Illinois struggles is with the toughness and physicality, and Houston's going to always bring that.
Yeah.
So,
all right, real quick before we move on to Friday's games, which 1 seed do you think has the best road to the Final Four?
Best road? Well, I mean, I think Arizona is the best 1 seed. So I think no matter what road they have, it's going to be the best. They do have Arkansas to play, though, which is tough. Florida has a great road, but Vandy just beat them pretty soundly, and they would have to play them again in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I kind of like their road, too. And then the Vandy game's a little tricky, but.
Yeah, I mean, they got dominated by Vandy. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, no, they did get dominated. They made them look real shitty in that game.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can turn that around because it looked like they had no chance in the second half. So they were just Vandy was doing whatever they wanted.
Think Arizona has the best road as a 1 seed?
I just think Arizona's the best 1 seed, and the health. Duke is just their health is a question mark for me. I don't think they had a ton of depth to lose in the backcourt. They lost their point guard, pretty big loss. I mean, I think Michigan's road's not that difficult either, but they're not playing as well as they were earlier. And that LJ Kaysen loss for Michigan, I think, is a much bigger deal than people think.
All right, Jordan, what do you think? Which 1 seed has the best path?
I think besides Arkansas, Arizona has a really easy path. I think their second round game is all but determined now. I'll tell you right now, Villanova or Utah State is going to lose to Arizona.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll call it right now before it even started. And then it comes down to Arkansas or Wisconsin. I think that Arkansas will probably have, or High Point or whatever, but I think Arkansas is going to give them the best game, but they also have a tremendous amount of size, so it's not a great matchup for Arkansas. At the second part of the bracket, second side, I think it's very weak. I think Purdue is a weak number 2 seed. I don't like the Big Ten this year, so I think that they have a pretty easy road. Duke has a pretty difficult road with St. John's potentially, also potentially Kansas or St. John's, and then either Michigan State, UConn, whoever makes it out of that side. Florida, tough to say with the Vanderbilt matchup. I think that's tough. I think they'll have a more difficult road because they just lost to Vandy. Michigan, I think they have an easier road, like Josh was saying. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they can sustain what they've had all season long, or if they've been streaking a little bit in the wrong direction lately. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at Duke. I understand the injuries, but I feel like they could beat all these teams here. I don't really see any truth. Like
St. John's?
No, Duke. I feel like Duke's better than all these teams, and they're like I just don't see any.
They are better.
And they are the favorites to win it all. They are plus.
I was really impressed with St. John's against UConn. I mean, I was kind of down on St. John's until I watched their last couple of games, and I was like, this looks like a different team than I watched like a month ago. And they look really tough and aggressive. I mean, they're just playing relentless aggression, and they've got some athletes. They got Ian Jackson coming off the bench, who I thought he was going to be an NBA player for sure, and I still think he'll figure it out. But they're so tough with those guys, Hopkins and Etchafor inside. I mean, they could cause some problems for Boozer.
Let me ask you this: are you more worried about St. John's versus Duke or Arkansas versus Arizona?
I think I think both could pull the upset. If I'm Duke, I'm more worried about St. John's than Arizona should be about Arkansas.
I agree with that. I think St. John's is a bigger threat to Duke than Arkansas is to Arizona.
All right. I mean, yeah, you might be right. That's close. I feel like Arkansas is a pretty good threat to Arizona, though, but maybe not. All right. How about
and the big guy for Duke, really important, Gongba or whatever. If he's not there, it makes them a far worse team. So I think his health is key for their run.
Yeah, it seems like Foster's. I think
he's done.
Out.
Yeah, I think he's done. I mean, I think maybe if they make the Final Four, he might be able to. But he broke his foot just recently, so he's not coming back anytime soon. But Gongba is, if he's not there for St. John's, I think St. John's wins the game for sure.
Yeah, Florida. I mean, they got to deal with Vandy, who's manhandled them, and then Illinois could be tricky, or Houston. I feel like Houston could. I mean, that's a rematch, obviously, from the game last year. Houston, I could see Houston. If that's a matchup, I kind of like Houston to get that rematch, and then Michigan. I mean, their road seems pretty decent. I know that they kind of play like shit down the stretch, but I'm not really worried about any of these teams they're playing. Are you guys in their bracket?
Yeah, I mean, Texas Tech is, they're without JT Toppin, their best player, so that's a big loss, obviously. Alabama has not been, they've been struggling. I wouldn't be too afraid of them. I mean, I think Michigan has a pretty easy road, but on the other side, I think Virginia and Iowa State are very similar teams. They're tough, great defense. Those are going to be tough matchups for them.
All right. What about Tennessee? What do you think about Tennessee?
Tennessee, I don't love them this year. I expect Virginia to handle them.
Okay.
All right. Good game to start off Friday. We talked about Santa Clara. All these years, Santa Clara's had a good record. They never make the freaking tournament because they can never beat St. Mary's or Gonzaga. And this year they got in 26-8, 10-7 game. Basically a 50-50 shot here at Kentucky. They're getting 3.5. Herb Sendek. Who he used to coach back in the day? Was it NC State?
Exactly.
NC State.
Yep.
And I know he's been at Santa Clara for a while. They beat McNeese by 12. They beat Xavier by 21. They only lost to St. Louis by 1 on a neutral court. They beat Minnesota on a neutral court. They lost to Arizona State on a neutral court. And then they lost to 12 by Gonzaga. They beat St. Mary's once. And they lost to St. Mary's once. They split. They lost twice to Gonzaga, or 3 times to Gonzaga. Actually, they beat St. Mary's twice because they beat them in the tournament. So yeah, they got some pretty good wins. I don't really have a good feel on them at all. I didn't really see them play. Like I said, they've always kind of been, right there, but just never made the tournament. They're finally in. Do you see them making any noise here in the tournament, Jordan?
I think it's a tough call because I think that this Kentucky team has been very underrated. I think they're it's a very talented Kentucky bunch. So it's tough to say. I think that Herb Sendek is one of the better coaches in the nation that's undersung over the years, and he just never really got the props he kind of deserved as a coach. But I think that Kentucky just has way more talent. Otega Owe, Cam Williams. I think Aberdeen. I think that they're just way more talented. I think that they'll definitely just be a lot to handle in the NCAA tournament. I actually like Kentucky this year. To make some noise.
Okay, yeah, they've been kind of up and down. This game's in St. Louis, so obviously that favors Kentucky.
Yeah, they're going to have a ton of fans.
Yeah.
They travel very well, the Kentucky fans.
What do you think, Josh?
It's not very far for them. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about Santa Clara. I like that conference, like I've said. I think I'm going to pick everyone from that conference to win their first game. I agree. Kentucky's super talented. They've got obviously much more individual talent. But they've been a little disjointed at times sometimes. And I don't know. Santa Clara, they play really well as a team. I feel like they're going to be very excited to be here. And, I'm going to go with them for the upset.
Yeah, I mean, Kentucky lost 5 of their last regular season games down the stretch. They beat LSU and Missouri in the conference tournament, then lost to Florida. So, yeah, they've been kind of up and down. I mean, it's like they're either good or they suck. I mean, they beat Arkansas. They lose to Vanderbilt by like 30-25. They get killed by Gonzaga 94-59. They beat St. John's. So they're like little Jekyll and Hyde. They get beat up by Michigan State. And I love Owe. I mean, I loved him since last year. I just don't know if and Aberdeen comes over from Florida, this kid Chandler. But I don't know. I don't know if I trust him. Diabate, isn't he from Alabama? He left Alabama to go to Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, they got so much talent on that team. I mean, you on paper, they should definitely win.
Yeah, just a 3.5 point spread.
Yeah.
So you guys both like Kentucky with the points?
I kind of like Santa Clara. I'm going to take Santa Clara. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense other than I just feel like they're going to do it.
I like Kentucky.
Okay.
I mean, you could be right. I think Santa Clara is as a talented a team as you're going to find. I think I'm just going to go with Kentucky just based on the talent.
Yeah, it'll be which Kentucky team shows up. I mean, like we've said, they've been inconsistent, but when they show up and play, they're really good and tough to beat. It probably will be dictated by them and how they play. And this will be Owe's last game, I think. So he's not going to want to lose. He's one of the best competitors in college basketball.
What's he projected to be in the NBA draft?
I don't know. He seems like kind of a Josh Hart type of guy to me.
You think he should be a first-round pick, no?
Yeah, maybe. He's not a great shooter, so.
Borderline.
Second-round pick?
Maybe a second round. Maybe early second.
Yeah.
Late first, early second. Yeah, he's a winner. He's a good player. But he's got to knock down that 3, though.
Yeah, I mean, that could get better. He's got plenty of time to keep on improving. I mean, you see all these guys, their 3-ball seems to always get better as they continue to play in the NBA.
For sure.
All right. 160.5. Don't really have any thoughts there. Just looked at both teams. I don't really see anything clear. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on the over-under there.
I go under.
Okay. All right. Akron. Another 12-5 here versus Texas Tech. Obviously, they lose JT Toppin. Absolutely devastating injury. -7 here for Texas Tech. 155 total. Upset here at 12-5 for Akron here, Josh, or no?
I mean, it's possible. Like you lose your best player like that. It's always huge, but they've really held it together pretty nicely after losing him. I thought that'd probably just, end their season. They'd be depressed, but they've all stuck together. They've got Christian Anderson, who's played really well. They're a very tough team. And Akron, I wanted to pick them early in the year. I thought they might be a good team to target for an upset. We were watching them over at your house the other day in the championship game, and wasn't overly impressed with them there. So I don't know. I'd probably lean Texas Tech pulling out the win, but it's certainly possible that Akron could pull it off.
Yeah, the MAC conference. Has any of these teams made a run recently in this conference? I can't really remember it.
Akron, I think Akron might have won. Did they? Actually, it's a good question. One of the teams won recently.
Kent State? Did Kent State win one?
I think Kent State won.
They might have won a game. They got Tavari Johnson.
Ohio definitely won a few games. Ohio a little further back with Jason. What was his name? Played for the Clippers.
Oh yeah, Ohio. Yeah. No, didn't they lose in the first round that year? They had that big time scorer, that point guard.
No, it was a second round or third round game. Ohio was in that they lost. I know exactly what you're talking about. They made it pretty far. I think it was a Sweet 16.
I don't see any big wins. They lost to Yale on a neutral court by 3. I don't see any wins that really stick out here. Texas Tech, I guess they lost Toppin February 17th, so he's been out about a month. Yeah, and
they've really played well without him, considering they really don't have anybody to put in his place. So they're very thin up front.
They've lost 3 in a row: TCU, BYU, and Iowa State.
Yeah, very good teams. Tough.
Yeah, they beat Arizona, and then they lost Toppin after that. I guess he got hurt in that game, or maybe against Arizona State he got hurt. They lost by 5. Probably what happened.
Yeah, and he was playing. I mean, he was playing as well as anybody in the country. Big loss.
Killer injury. I mean, they beat Houston. They did beat Iowa State after he was out, but then they dropped 3 straight. They got killed by Iowa State in the conference tournament. So, I don't know if Akron's good enough to beat them even without Toppin. So what are you guys leaning here? +7 for Akron, or are you taking Texas Tech?
I'd probably lay off of this one. I'd lean towards Texas Tech, but I probably wouldn't take it.
Okay. Jordan, anything on that?
I'm going Akron. I think Akron. I think the MAC is the best it's been in since Wally Zerbiak. When they made their Sweet 16 run back in '99. I think this is like the best. It's generally the best top to bottom. The MAC has been so competitive. That Toledo game, even though that Toledo team was like 19-15, that team was very, very underrated. I think that Akron really did. They have one loss in conference. Johnson, exceptional scorer. They have rim protection, so they're more than just your typical upset special. I think they have some size. They have some guards who can definitely play as well. Shamon Scott was really got over 40% this year, and he was scintillating in the MAC tournament. I think that MAC is just very much up. I'm pro MAC right now, so I'm going to go with the upset with the
turn of the MAC. There you go.
Exactly, with the top endless Texas Tech team.
Yeah, and they've got that main scorer who can go off and pull that first round upset. I mean, that's usually what has to happen with these underdog teams. One guy just goes nuts. Tavari Johnson, I think he averages at least 20 a game. Yeah. I think so.
Well, Akron number 2 in the country in field goals made, and Texas Tech's defense 208th. Number 8th in average points per game. Texas Tech 123rd. Obviously different conferences, but maybe they could stay in the game with that 7 points like Jordan is referencing. He's high in the MAC. Josh and I were watching that game. We really weren't too impressed, but I don't think we were complaining.
Yeah, we weren't even paying attention.
We weren't paying attention. we were looking at the other games. Where the girls were in there talking to us. We're eating chips and shit. So.
Yeah, we probably weren't. I just had a bet on them, so I was annoyed that they were losing for a while, and then they came back.
We watched like 3 minutes. Like, oh no, I think we watched one of the Akron. Like, there was a sequence in that game where like one of the Akron guys like airballed a 3, and the other guy like hit the side of the rim on a 3. We're like,
we're like, these guys are terrible.
The side of the backboard.
No, Toledo was good. Toledo impressed me, but they had like a really good guy, Leroy Blyden. He's a solid, like one of the better freshmen in the nation, to be honest. So he was hitting some shots, and his defense was crazy. He was just stealing the ball from Akron like left and right. It was kind of nuts. So that was the best Toledo team I've ever seen.
All right. All right. So we got Akron +7. I don't really see anything on the total, 155.5. We can keep it moving. Long Island University, 16th seed, playing Arizona, 31-point dog. We've talked a little bit at Arizona briefly. Arizona is third in to win the national championship, +380 behind Duke and Michigan. Duke is 350, Michigan's 370, and then Florida is 750. So the 4-1 seeds right there. LIU, any thoughts on them maybe covering? Obviously we don't expect them to win, but do you think they can cover the 31-point spread here, Jordan?
No, no shot. Not enough size. Koa Pete gonna go crazy. It's over.
What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, last year Long Island fooled me a little. They're very athletic. They're like an extremely athletic team. Last year I picked them to pull an upset over somebody. I think it was a 2-15 matchup, and that did not work out well. They lost by about 30, I think. So I won't make that mistake again. I'm sure they're going to get smashed. I mean, Arizona's been playing really well. It's a terrible matchup for Long Island. Unlucky. If they were playing Florida, I'd give them a lot better chance, or Michigan.
Yeah. But Arizona beat Florida on a neutral court. They beat UCLA on a neutral court. They destroyed Alabama on a neutral court. They beat San Diego State on a neutral court. And they've lost 2 games all year. One was to Kansas. In Kansas, we know how hard it is to play in Kansas.
Yeah,
they really lose. And then Texas, they lost the game after that. Texas Tech with Toppin when he was still there. After that, they beat BYU. They beat Houston. They killed Kansas. They killed Iowa State. They killed UCF in the conference tournament. They only beat Iowa State by 2 in the conference tournament, but then they went to go beat Houston by 5. So, 32-2. Do you think that, given the injury, that you think Arizona should have been the number 1 overall seed, or you think Duke deserved it still? Jordan.
I think Duke still deserved it. Just seeing how they played and how they dismantled. And earlier in the year, when Caleb Wilson was healthy, that Duke Carolina game was one of the best games I've seen in recent years. It was really fun. So, and even that game, that was one of Duke's losses. That was an incredible comeback by Carolina, and like historically great comeback. And
we really stole that one.
They really did. So I think Duke is just head and shoulders above most teams in this field right now. But a couple of losses creeping in. I think that playing against a couple, like they're a young team. If they face it off against some like really solid senior talent, I think they could struggle potentially and get bounced. But no, I think Arizona is not on the level of Duke. I'm going to put it out there in terms of talent.
Okay. This kid Burries, San Bernardino, California. Do you think he's completely legit? Seems a little inconsistent at times.
Yeah, he's been shooting some bricks recently, though.
Yeah, freshman. He's had some great performances. He seems like he's either been the star of the game or he's just done nothing at all. It's like what are the feast or famine. But they have a lot of other options as well, And I've been impressed with Arizona. Duke, like you said, we stole the game against Duke. They were winning the whole time. Our only lead of the game was the final score, the last second 3. But Duke, I mean, those injuries are a problem for them. I mean, the guards were definitely not their strong suit. The ball handlers, and Caleb Foster was one of their main ball handlers, so that's a big loss. And then Gongba, I think, is the key for them. If he comes back healthy, they're gonna be fine. But if he doesn't, they're very vulnerable. I think they were able to pull off the ACC just barely. I mean, Virginia had a chance to beat them there, and I don't think they're going to win it if Gongba doesn't come back.
Okay. Do you trust Arizona's guards in the tournament in big spots?
I trust Jaden Bradley a lot. I think he's super clutch.
Actually, that's true. He did have that money shot.
He's proven that over and over again. Yeah, he's one of the best in the country at last second shots. So game on the line, I'll take him any day.
Yeah, that was a pretty ridiculous shot he hit against Iowa State.
Yeah, that was.
Okay. We'll see if Arizona and Arkansas matches up. That should be a pretty interesting game if we get to that. LIU, we don't think they're covering here. No 16-1 upset. All right. Wright State 150 versus Virginia. Virginia is back. They have the coach from VCU. This guy was at VCU for a couple of years. Now he's at Virginia. So he didn't go too far. He went from Richmond to Charlottesville. And Wright State getting 18 points here. Virginia has been prone to upsets early in the tournament in the past. Wright State out of the Horizon. This is Butler's old conference back in the day. Obviously they're in the Big East now. But Oakland came out of this with that dude who was banging all the threes a few years ago. Do you see anything from Wright State here to pull an upset? First in Horizon, 23-11 over Virginia, or at least cover here, Jordan?
No, so I watched pieces of that of Wright State's championship game. I didn't see much from them that would warrant coming close. I think they're actually misseeded. I think they should probably be a 15 or a 16. I am a huge fan of the Horizon League conference over the years. So it kind of pains me to say this, but I think that this is like one of the worst years of the Horizon League, just having seen that championship game. So okay. I think Virginia wins by soundly in this game.
Yeah, Virginia looks good this year. What do you think here, Josh?
Yeah, Virginia's real sneaky. I mean, their record is really good. They just were very difficult to beat all year long. They play great defense like they always seem to do. They've got the best shot blocker in the country, probably, on Yeso, who just dominated Boozer. And I think they're going to be really tough to beat. Like it would not surprise me to see Virginia in the Final Four. I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah, I'm looking at Virginia's schedule. I mean, they beat Dayton on neutral court. They lost to Butler.
Carolina did beat Virginia at Virginia. And that was with Caleb
85-80. They won at Louisville. They won at SMU. They won on a neutral court versus Ohio State. They beat Miami. They beat NC State. They killed NC State. They got killed by Duke. They played them tough in the final. But, again, Duke's missing some guys, and they killed Miami again. And so they got some good wins within the ACC out of conference, obviously. Nothing really special. Actually, no, they beat Texas. So that's a good win. Another tournament team. In Dayton as well. So, yeah, I think they're a pretty quality team. So Jordan thinks they're going to handle it here with the spread. Any pros on Virginia that you guys see?
I mean, they're not the most talented teams in terms of NBA prospects. I do think Onyeso will be an NBA player. He's so good defensively. And he may end up being a starting center. I think he started his career at Kentucky and didn't have a lot of success, but he's been great. In the second half of this season, he's been dominant. And if they make a run, he'll be the reason why.
3 blocks per game, 6 points per game.
He had 9 blocks against Duke, I think. 9. And a lot of those were on Boozer.
7 foot from where? Nigeria?
Look at his last few games. I think he had like 9 blocks, 7 blocks. He's just been
Oh yeah, last three games, 9, 4, and 8 blocks.
Yeah, making it very difficult for the other team to score.
All right, well that should be fun. Watch some blocks against Wright State.
Yeah, he might get to 10 this time.
knock some lady's head off in the rafters. All right, so Jordan likes Virginia minus 18. I think Josh is with them as well. Total is 146. No real interest in Wright State. Jordan says the Horizon League is down. All right, next game, Tennessee State. Who the hell's the coach there? Nolan Smith from Duke is the coach.
Is it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Getting 24.5 against Iowa State. Jordan, any thoughts here on this matchup with Tennessee State? You know anything about them?
Not too much about them, but I think soundly Iowa State's going to destroy them. I think they'll have a decent shot. They got Harper. I think Harper's a decent shooter. So if he comes to play, that they can at least put up some points on the board. But I think it's a tough matchup. I think Iowa State is just extremely talented, and they're streaking at the right time.
Yeah, what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Iowa State played a lot of these top teams really tough. Arizona and Houston, they've been right there in all these games. Took that Jaden Bradley buzzer beater to knock them off in the tournament. I think easy win for them. Tennessee State doesn't have much for them, I don't think.
All right, they lost by 29 to Tennessee. They beat UNLV in a neutral court, but the Ohio Valley Conference, I can't remember. Morehead State was like Kenneth Fareed years ago. I mean, that's about it. I don't remember any of these teams doing anything in the conference and the tournament. Do you guys? I don't. So this conference doesn't represent too well.
Yeah, pretty tough.
Yeah, and Iowa State's pretty damn solid, so I think this should be pretty easy.
Yeah, I feel like they're one of the most consistent teams out there. Iowa State. Yeah, they pretty much play the same way every game.
Mama Lukovic.
Momsilovich. Momsilovich.
Yeah, he's a pretty nasty shooter. That kid Jefferson's good.
Wasn't Murray State in the Ohio Valley?
Good call. Maybe they were.
I think it was John.
They made some noise recently.
They were really good for a while there.
Yeah.
Hadn't heard much from them recently.
No.
Are they in the Ohio Valley? Let me see.
I
think they may have moved.
Yeah,
Maybe they moved. Yeah, they probably moved. Yeah.
But I think they were.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Iowa State, I mean, they're a 2 seed. Do you think they could get to the Final Four?
What do you think, Josh?
Absolutely. I think they definitely can. I think either them, Virginia, or Michigan all have reasonable chances to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think the little bottom side of the bracket here. I mean, it's pretty favorable, for them, right?
Yeah, it's wide open for somebody to get there, and why not? They're the top seed in that bottom part of the bracket. I think anyone in that bottom half of that bracket could make a run, probably.
Yeah, like I was telling you guys earlier when I went to AC years ago, and we were all in on Iowa State with Shayok, and they were I think they lost in like the first round. They were just horrible, and ever since then, I always had an uneasy feeling about backing Iowa State. But they've had some success in the tournament.
Yeah, they've been close. They've been close to a Final Four a couple times.
Yeah.
They might be due.
Yeah.
Defensive team. I always count out defensive teams in my bracket, but they're like heavily defensive, and that I don't know if they can score with other teams. I think this team is experienced enough that they could easily, like Josh said, I think they could easily make the Elite Eight. I don't know about the Final Four, but Elite Eight for sure.
Okay. All right. Next matchup, another Long Island team coached by Speedy Claxton, the former guard, NBA guard. I believe he went to Hofstra as well. They're getting 11.5 against Alabama. Alabama, they're kind of a little up and down too. They lose to Mississippi in the conference tournament. They lose to Georgia before that by 10 at Georgia. 23-9 this year. Always kind of a very popular tournament team for a lot of people. I've always kind of been a little bit suspect of them. I think they lost to Duke last year. They kind of got exposed, but they're a 4 seed this year. Anything from Hofstra, or do you guys like Alabama? And do you think Alabama can make a deep run? What do you think, Jordan?
I like Alabama's personnel. I always liked Houston Mollett when he was back at Pepperdine where he started his career. Philon, I think Josh is more familiar with his game, but he loves him as a pro prospect. He can talk more about that. The one thing I wanted to mention is I actually like Latrell Wrightsell in terms of his ability to come to play in big games. The one thing I do want to mention is I don't know about the status of Aiden Holloway. I know he got arrested for like some weed possession thing.
Yeah, he had like a pound of weed on him. What an
idiot. Like.
So why do you have that? You're like allowed to have like a half ounce. Why do you have a pound?
So is he playing?
And he should have put under the hood. That's what he should have did.
That's something.
Put it. You stick it like inside the engine, and they want to.
I mean, can they really let him play after that? I mean, I don't know.
It's tough. That's what I'm saying. It could be a positive read through for Hofstra, even though I'm not pro Hofstra in this case.
Yeah, I mean they've been limping down the finish line here. Alabama has been struggling. They kind of a little bit like Kentucky to me, where they're super talented, but they've just been inconsistent game to game. And Hofstra, if you're gonna really wanting to pick a 13 seed to win a game, I feel like they're about as good a choice as you could find. They got a guy, Cruz Davis, who can really score. I think he averaged about 20 a game. So, he's the kind of guy that, puts up 35 and they pull the upset. But Philon, like you said, will be who he's matched up against. And he's NBA player, really tough defensive player. So, terrible matchup for that guy, Cruz Davis. But, I mean, Alabama has not been super impressive. They've got a ton of talent on their roster, but they haven't really put it all together. And then if you've got Holloway out, that might be the break Hofstra needs.
Philon averaged 21 during the year, 28 in the conference tournament, or 28 against. They had 28 points against Mississippi. But yeah, I'm kind of with you. They just give me kind of bad vibes every year. Kind of like risky vibes. They lost to Tennessee. They lost to Gonzaga on a neutral court. They beat Illinois on a neutral court. Killed Maryland on a neutral court. They got killed by Arizona on a neutral court. They beat, I think this is Kennesaw State, by 11 on a neutral court. Got killed by Florida, 100-77. They beat Arkansas in overtime, 117-115. So, kind of up and down in the conference. Lost to Vanderbilt, lost to Texas. Seemed like they kind of beat up on the lesser teams. They did beat Arkansas. That's a good win. But they got killed by Florida. I don't know.
Definitely one of the most fun point guard matchups to watch.
Yeah, who was the guy you mentioned from Hofstra again?
His name's Cruz Davis.
Cruz Davis.
Yeah, I think he averages like 20 a game. He's big too, like a 6'3" point guard. Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a fun matchup to watch.
Hofstra.
The NBA scouts will be paying attention.
Hofstra beat Syracuse. They beat Penn by 17. They played UCF first game of the year. They only lost by 4. They seem kind of like they might have. I feel like
that's a fun upset pick to take a shot on if you're looking to take one of those high seeds.
Total is 160. Jordan, are you on the Hofstra train here? Plus 11.5.
No, I'm not pro Hofstra here. I think that Alabama just has more talent, and even without Holloway, I don't see it. I don't know if that conference is that good. They were third in their conference.
Yeah, the Colonial.
Yeah. Just yeah. See it.
Total is 160.
Spread. Maybe bet the spread. Like 11.5. Alabama 11.5. That's a little bit high for a team that's
what I was saying. Did you like Hofstra plus 11.5? Yeah.
Yeah, I might. Yeah, I think Alabama will pull it off, but I think Hofstra plus 11.5. Yeah.
I can't believe how many these over-unders are over 160. That's a lot.
There's a lot of high over-unders for sure. I think maybe the continuation thing maybe bumps it up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, Alabama has a lot of high-scoring games. So,
all right. Let me just look at Hofstra's defense, 5th in the country in field goal percentage, 12th in field goals made. So yeah, maybe they could I mean, Alabama first in 3-point attempts and second in 3 points made. 7th in field goals attempted. All right. Next game here as we continue on Friday. We'll try to get this done in 3 hours. I think we'll get it done. We'll speed it through. We'll keep this under 3 hours. But
I might need a bathroom break if it makes it to 3 hours.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, you're probably gonna need one because we're on the 4 o'clock games. Utah State and Villanova.
I'll take one right now.
Yeah. I'll let Jordan talk about his
you guys
Nova
carry
squad
on.
against Utah State, who still has never won a tournament game. I think they're 0-12 or 0-11, something like that. Every single year they're in the tournament, seems like, and they always lose in the first round. The Mountain West hasn't had a lot of success outside of like San Diego State. Always kind of a respected conference. It's just never really kind of been underwhelming. And they were getting like 3-4 teams, and all these teams are getting knocked out early. So Jordan, you know best about this matchup. What do you think about Villanova versus Iowa State? Utah State. Sorry, Utah State -2. Utah State's favorite. Wow.
To be honest with you, I'm going to go Utah State. And this is, as a Villanova guy, this pains me. But I was at their matchup against Georgetown. They totally blew that game. They looked totally disjointed out of. And they have very young guards. Villanova has, and Utah State's guards are way more experienced. They've been here before, and I think they're looking for that first win because they've been embarrassed every single year. It's a loss. What I noticed about the locker room was kind of like somber. Obviously, it's a loss to Georgetown. Like, you're going to be somber, but it was just like there seemed to be something more. It felt very corporate and very like they didn't. I don't know if that locker room is that great. Even though I think that they played pretty well together as a team. All these guys have very good fundamentals. I think Duke Brennan is going to be a key. If he can rebound the ball, if he can defend ball screens, like he was saying to me in the presser afterwards, I think he'll be solid. Devin Askew will be a key. He's been shooting the ball pretty well, but he seems to he tends to chuck the ball up like when he shouldn't. Perkins is good. Both Perkins and Lindsay are really good guards. Caden Lewis has been excellent. He's our freshman phenom, one of the best freshmen in our program. So I really think that there's a lot of freshman guards. It's all going to come down to how Duke Brennan plays. But I think that MJ Collins and Utah State's more experienced. I think they just are going to outshoot us.
Okay.
Plus, I'm not a huge fan of our coach in NCAA tournament as well. So he did do well with Maryland last year.
Who's Villanova's new coach?
I'm spazzing right now. The Seton Hall guy.
Holloway? Is it Holloway?
No.
Holloway?
No, it's Willard, Kevin Willard. Sorry.
Oh, Kevin Willard. I kind of liked him at Seton Hall. He was pretty solid there.
He was good, but he never won in the tournament.
Yeah. He always did terrible in the tournament.
You need Jay Wright back.
I'll never forget that one year when I liked Seton Hall a lot, and they played Gonzaga in the first round in Denver. And what was that guard that I liked for Seton Hall? He was like 1 for 21. He was like 1 for 21 in Denver. Who?
Yeah.
You love Isaiah Whitehead.
Oh yeah, Isaiah Whitehead. That's cool.
To this day, you think he's better than the top 5 pick, Chris Dunn?
He's probably the best player in the NBA right now. If he was in the NBA.
Isaiah Whitehead.
Is he even on a roster?
No, I don't. He's not even in the G League.
No.
Disappointing.
Yeah, but he was so bad in that game against Gonzaga. He couldn't make a shot, and he kept shooting. He just brick after brick after brick. But Villanova
never loses confidence.
No, definitely not. Villanova beat Wisconsin in overtime this year. They lost to BYU. But the Big East was down this year. I mean, Marquette and Xavier both sucked. Creighton wasn't really that good either. It was just kind of St. John's and Connecticut. And they didn't beat either one. They got killed by St. John's. They didn't really play competitively with them. They didn't really play competitively with Connecticut. It's like, oh no, they played it. They almost beat them in overtime, but
They're solid. They have a lot of good guards. They're just very young. I think they'll come into their own in a year or so. I don't see it this year.
Yeah. All right. And Utah State, they beat VCU on neutral court. And they were the best team in the Mountain West. Again, we already referenced the Mountain West. They struggle in the tournament. San Diego State's the only real team that's had success. And this is the first year in a while, I think the Mountain West has only got one team in. I mean, they always have like Boise State's in, San Diego State's in, Mexico's in. And I think the committee finally realized that Mountain West is not as good. Yeah. They've been tricking us all these years.
This is a one-bid league.
So Josh, what do you think? You're going with Nova here over Utah State?
I think this is a one-bid league. They finally got it right for the Mountain West. But I actually think this is the year they win. Now that I've heard Jordan doubting his team a little bit too, I'm gonna take Utah State to win. Yeah, that's the confidence I needed, was for Jordan not to be confident.
I'm always absurdly biased towards Villanova, but that locker room was just depressing when I was there. I'm just like,
yeah. This is the year Mountain West finally wins a game, other than San Diego State.
I think they actually did win in 2024. They beat TCU.
Was that a first four game?
Utah State. I don't know. I'm trying to find what the hell their record is in the freaking tournament. No, I know. A couple of years ago they were like 0-11. So maybe they're like 1-12 or 1-13.
That might have been a first four game that they won. One of those.
Yeah.
Doesn't really count, but kind of.
Not
a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of the first four.
Yeah. Kind of lame.
All right. Next game, Iowa versus Clemson. 8-9 game. Iowa's favored by 2. Fran McCaffrey's gone, and he makes it with Penn, but couldn't really ever do it with Iowa. He always kind of was shitty with Iowa. But anyway, new coach there. Any thoughts on this one? Iowa, Clemson, kind of two mad teams to me, but
yeah, I mean Clemson was tough. They knocked off my Tar Heels in the ACC tournament. They gave Duke a battle. Iowa, they got Bennett Sturt, so I really like. Tavion Banks is pretty good too, but I don't know. It seems like Clemson's just a tougher team to me. So I kind of lean Clemson, but it wouldn't shock me if Iowa won either.
Iowa's been terrible down the stretch. I mean, they've won 3 games since February 11th. So
Clemson's missing one of their better players. Their big man got hurt a couple weeks ago. I think his name was Carter Welling or something like that. He's out. He was a starter for them, so it's a big loss. But they were playing without him against Duke and Carolina and played well. So I think Clemson probably should be the favorite there.
What do you agree with that, Jordan?
I agree 100%. I think that Clemson has proven the last few years they're just a tough out in the NCAA tournament. I think this year is no different. I think that Iowa. I like Brennan Sturts just like Josh said, but the team itself has not really shown me anything. And I'm also down on the Big Ten, so I have Clemson here.
Guess the total in this game. It's on the screen.
Low.
Guess the total.
Yeah, 152.
165.
129.5.
Wow.
Over.
That's the lowest total we've seen. Always high.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty low for teams that aren't like. I mean, Iowa is no defensive juggernaut. That's for
That's
sure.
weird. I don't know why it's 129 and a half. I don't really see, based off previous scores, I don't see why the hell it's so low.
Money in the bank.
Yeah, I'm taking the over there.
Yeah, seems
Taking the over.
Taking it over
like
too.
a good bet.
All right.
Weird.
Iowa versus Clemson.
Ben Brownell, kind of an underrated coach.
That game is in Tampa. Maybe we can take it right over there, Josh. Check it out.
Yeah. Who else plays? I think Florida plays in Tampa. There's some decent games.
All right. Next game. Interesting. Another 12-5 here. Northern Iowa, obviously the Missouri Valley, a lot of success in the tournament. Always very formidable. Taking on St. John's, who we just saw have a win the Big East tournament. And everybody and their mother's saying they got screwed because they're a 5 seed and they're playing in San Diego. I mean, at least even though you're on the West Coast, at least you're playing in San Diego versus Arkansas, who's playing in Portland. I think that's worse. It's kind of nice to be in San Diego, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of rough. They got to go west and they got to go back east again. 10.5 to Northern Iowa. Josh, do you have any thoughts on Northern Iowa?
Well, I'm surprised that, like you said, that they got that St. John's is a 5 seed. I mean, I watched them a few times in the middle of the season, and I could see why they'd be a 5 from watching that, because they were just missing every shot. But from watching their last few games, I mean, they look like a 2 or a 3 seed right now. And I mean, I think they're just going to overwhelm Northern Iowa with just strength and athleticism, and they're just going to destroy them, I think. But I don't know. Northern Iowa is one of those teams in the past. They've been one of those 3-point shooting teams. They've pulled a few monster upsets. I haven't seen a whole lot of them this year, so I don't. I think St. John's is one of the hottest teams right now. I wouldn't think they had much of a chance.
Yeah, Northern Iowa was 6th in the Missouri Valley this year. Jordan, do you think the Missouri Valley was a good conference this year?
The Missouri Valley, I think, is a good conference every single year. I think that Will Hornston is gonna get off some really good shots. He's a really solid 3-point shooter, shooting like a 44% from 3. That's a solid. I think he'll have a solid game. I think they have some players on this Northern Iowa team, but they're just far outmatched by St. John's. The Johnnies really have some size and strength. I think it could be closer than what people would expect, but I don't see them giving them too much of a test for too long. I think the Johnnies are. It actually makes 0 sense that the Johnnies are a 5 seed when UConn's a 2 seed after the Johnnies just beat them recently by 20. So explain that. But I see 10.5, and I think that I would take the Johnnies for the over on the 10.5. Makes a lot of sense.
Go ahead.
No, I think they have a chance to upset Duke as well. So.
Okay. Northern Iowa's first in the country in points allowed, 61.3. So you got that at least.
That spread is kind of surprisingly low.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the 5-12 thing that, everybody expects the 12 to be the 5 all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
St. John's lost to Iowa State early in the year on a neutral court. They lost to Auburn as well. They lost to Kentucky, and then they get into the Big East. They beat UConn 2 out of 3 times. They got that one blowout loss to UConn, but they pretty much dominated in the Big East. Other than losing to UConn once and losing to Providence early on in the season. Besides that, they've lost 1 game since January 6th, and that was to UConn.
To be fair, the Big East is down big time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely down. I mentioned that earlier. When you have Xavier and Marquette and even Villanova, who are all kind of shitty this year, especially Xavier and Marquette. I mean, Marquette too. I mean, they're usually a very, very solid team in the Big East. They suck. Creighton too. Creighton suck too. So, yeah, good point. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think of St. John's. I don't really have a good feel on them. I did like them last year, and then they kind of let us down losing to Arkansas early on. Their out-of-conference schedule, not the most impressive. They lost to Alabama as well. So I don't know how strong of a team they are. I think they could beat Northern Iowa, but Northern Iowa, again, tough defensive team. They're going to slow it down. The total's 131.5. Maybe St. John's goes to West Coast and lays a stinker, but they could be motivated by their seeding and having been shipped off to the West Coast as well and take care of business. I don't know what to think in this game. Total 131. Anyone thoughts there?
Yeah, I've definitely done a complete 180 on St. John's recently. I thought they were just kind of average for a lot of the season, but like the last couple of weeks, they've really turned it up. And
no, they're good.
They look like a dangerous team to me right now.
I agree with Josh. I think that they're really, really dangerous. I mean, they have the Bryce Hopkins along with Zuby. They're one of the better interior combos that I've seen.
Grown men right there. They're just physical, so physical, and just
they're
gonna be a problem for everybody.
Hopkins was Providence, right?
Yeah,
I think St. John's has, if you're gonna see a lower seed make a Final Four, I think they're one of the teams that could potentially do it.
And Zuby, man, Zuby Dooby Doo.
Crazy.
Gus Johnson was saying he was he was playing out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else that's I forgot, do you guys wanted to mention from St. John's? It could be somebody to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Bryce Hopkins, Zuby Ejiofor, my boy Ian Jackson's there coming off the bench. I mean, they're deep. They've got a lot of guys. There's a few guys I'm not even sure what their names are that I know what numbers they are, and they were very impressive. Who I had not seen much of until just the last 2 days watching.
Sellers averaged 10.
Sellers is someone that coach wants. Like coach Patino spoke so highly of Sellers in the post game. He thinks Sellers was like the best player on the floor.
He was.
Yeah, making good reads.
Yeah, he was number 4, right? I think he's number 4, Isaiah Sellers. Because 4 was the guy that was standing out in my mind as putting on a show the other day.
Is Darling the guard who was shooting bombing threes?
Yeah, he's playing really well. The guy number 3, Josan Sanin, was playing really well. Ruben Prey is a big guy inside who was playing well. Dylan Mitchell, who's been in college basketball forever, it seems like, played for a lot of different teams. He's been the same guy the whole time. Great defender, super athlete. Man, they're just dangerous. They're playing so hard and just relentlessly aggressive, and that's tough to deal with.
The thing about them that worries me a little bit is point guard play. You always say that in the NCAA tournament, but it's just like they don't seem to need it, which is weird to say about a team. But it's just like if there's anything like not having the complete stabilizing presence, I think Ian Jackson's the closest thing they have.
And they can go cold. They can go cold too. I mean, one game I watched them this year, they missed like 20 straight shots, and that's why I kind of wrote them off like a month or two ago. But they seem to be a different team right now.
Do you think that could spell trouble against the number 1 defense in the league in Northern Iowa? I mean, in the country.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you put them in a major conference, they wouldn't be the number 1 defensive team.
No, of course not. But you still got to give them some credit. Right?
True. But I just it's hard to see them staying in that game.
Yeah, number 3 in 3-point percentage too, 28.5.
That's what it'll take. A lot of threes.
UConn's
15 threes.
UConn's offensive stats are not impressive. They do get to the free throw line a lot though. That's the key.
Yeah.
All right.
Dangerous in transition, St. John's.
But
keep in the half court, much worse.
Do you both like taking St. John's minus 10.5, or you think stay away and maybe, or if anything?
I would take St. John's 10.5. That's
I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm suspicious of that line being that low, but
it's weird. 10.5 is strange.
Whenever I see that, it makes me question myself.
Yeah, well, that's when you kind of go the other way,
Yeah, I mean, maybe St. John's just has a terrible shooting day, and Northern Iowa hangs around.
Yeah, I could. You never know. Could be a close one, but again, they could be disrespected. They have a little chip on their shoulder. But this is going to be an interesting game. All right, UCF here. What's that?
maybe fouls could get them out of the game, like some key guys getting foul trouble. That's the only way I see them losing that game.
Yeah, or if you and I can keep them off the free throw line, and St. John's not making shots. All right, UCF versus UCLA. UCF about an hour away from us here, +6 against UCLA. Mick Cronin seems to have kind of got these guys playing pretty good ball. Now they got some injuries. I know Donovan Dent left with an injury, but I think he's going to be okay. And then Bilodeau is the other guy with a knee injury. He got hurt in the conference tournament game with a knee sprain, but I think he's going to be fine. As far as I think I heard Cronin say they both could have played. Dent seems like he's not even on the injury report anymore. And then Bilodeau sounds like he's going to play. So that's what I've heard so far regarding that injury. But interesting matchup here, UCF against UCLA. What do you think here, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, those injuries are going to be key. I mean, how healthy are those guys? Hard to know. I don't put a whole lot of stock into what coaches say. They're always just, they're not totally transparent all the time with these injuries. UCF's been, very inconsistent. Like sometimes they look great, sometimes they look terrible. They've got great size and athleticism. So they're certainly capable. They've got some big wins this year. I think they beat Kansas. They maybe had one or two other pretty big wins. So if UCLA is down a few guys or if they're just not 100%, UCF definitely has the ability to win. I love Fulks, their point guard. He's a beast. So Dent versus Fulks would be another great point guard matchup to watch.
Yeah, Donovan Dent, man. He came over from New Mexico. He's really playing lights out. I mean, he looks awesome. Yeah, they beat Kansas, UCF. They played close with Arizona. They beat Texas Tech when Toppin was still there at home.
Yeah.
So yeah, they won at BYU. Yeah, man, they're definitely a formidable team. They beat Cincinnati in the first round of the conference when Arizona absolutely obliterated them, 81-59. What do you think here, Jordan? What do you like?
So I'm gonna kind of go against the grain and go with UCF. I mean, I think Josh mentioned how talented they are. I really like this guy John Bowl, the rim protector on UCF. I think he erases so many shots. I think Dent's gonna have a hard time in the paint with Bowl there. I think that's going to be the key. If Dent gets the basket, it's going to be a long night for UCF. But Dent is going to be the key, really, how he plays and Perry. They have a really good experience, but I think that UCLA, I feel like there's just something. I mean, they played well in their conference tournament, but there's something off about that team. Ever since that guy got coached, ejected his own player, I just feel like I feel like it's just a weird year for UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, they beat Illinois in overtime. They beat Michigan State in the conference tournament. They played tight with Purdue. They beat Nebraska by 20 recently. They beat Purdue actually twice. I'm sorry, they beat Purdue earlier in the year, just once this year. They played kind of close with Arizona, only lost by 4 early on in the season. I kind of like UCLA. Like I think Josh was saying that UCF is kind of up and down. I think I trust Cronin a little bit more. Johnny Dawkins really hasn't done much in the tournament. I mean, he could be due. They could cover this game. I don't know. It could be definitely a tight game. I don't know if I have an official pick. 152.5 is the over under. I think I would lean the under in that game, right? What do you guys think?
I don't know. Tough call on the over-under, but like UCLA, I think it's a shame they had those 2 injuries because they were playing probably the best they have all season. Like he mentioned, Trent Perry is playing really well, Bilodeau, Dent, and I do think Mick Cronin, obviously coaching edge there. I think again this bottom half of this bracket's wide open for me. So I think everybody has a shot to make a run. So it'll be interesting to see who does it. I think UCLA could definitely make a run if they're healthy. UCF, I don't really trust them to win that many games, but
No, I wouldn't trust them at all.
Dent says he's feeling 100%. It was like a calf strain or lower leg tweak. Said he could have returned. It was precautionary, so he sounds okay. The other guy a little more risky. We'll have to see. But I think Dent's going to be fine. As far as what I'm reading here, I mean, he might be a little nicked up, but adrenaline will probably take care of that. All right, that's gonna be a good watch though. On Friday night at 7:25. Any idea where that game is? You guys know?
Is it Philly? I saw Philly. Yeah, Philadelphia.
You're right, Philly. Yep. All right. All right. Queens, number 15 seed against Purdue, the number 2 seed. Queens getting 25. Jordan, what do you think about Queens against Purdue?
I like this over. I think that I would take Queens on the spread. I don't think they're going to beat Purdue, but I think that's such a disrespect to Queens College. Queens College, just so you guys know, is like one of the best programs in D2, like a historic program in D2. I mean, Josh mentioned them earlier, but yeah, they have a very balanced attack. I think that they'll give Purdue a game here. That's what I think. I think they shoot the ball well enough that they'll give them Purdue definitely a game. So that spread is insane. I would be putting a lot of money on that.
Interesting.
I saw a lot of games live at Queens when I lived in Charlotte. I had my buddy Gary worked for the basketball team. I got to see a lot of them when they were still Division II, but they rarely lost. I mean, their record was like 30-1 every year. So they definitely got a program working. It's a different coach now, I know, but it seems like they're here to stay. This is their first tournament appearance, I think.
Yeah.
They're maybe just now eligible. So
yeah, I think they just got eligible.
Yeah, so they could be a team to watch for years to come.
Yeah, it looks like they're pretty good offensively. Their defense looks like a hot mess, though. Queens defense. Look, they don't. Everything is like over 200 in statistics. So I don't know. That's going to be interesting. The total is 163.5. Queens allowed 93 to Kark. I don't know what the fuck that is. Austin P 83, 84 to Kark again. UWG 84. So their defense stinks. Austin P 95. Purdue. Yeah, Purdue might score like 90, 95 points in this game.
They do have Trey Mann's brother, Nasir Mann. You know Trey Mann, he's in the NBA.
Yeah.
Florida, I think. Yeah, his brother's the star player on Queens. He was the tournament MVP.
I think Purdue might score 90, at least 90. Can Queens get to 70? I don't know. I might lean over here. 163.5. I think Purdue could possibly score 100 points if they're on fire here. Queens defense looks terrible. I mean, they're letting up 93 and who the hell is this? Central Arkansas. I mean,
and Purdue definitely exposes a weak defense about as well as anybody. I think their coach really understands. And Braden Smith he was amazing in the pick and roll against Michigan. It was fun to watch him just carve them up.
Yeah, you know what? I liked him a lot last year, and then I don't know. I kind of fell off of them, but they played good in the tournament last year. I feel like they played tight, good in the tournament. They won the Big Ten tournament. I know Jordan thinks they're down, but still, him and Kaufman Wren, pretty solid 1-2 punch there. And he's, I mean, the coach there. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. Who's the Purdue's coach name?
What is that guy's name? He's real good though.
Matt
Painter.
Matt Painter. Yeah, he's been there for years, and he's, I mean, they've come close with Edie and stuff. They went to the finals, right, that one year, but
Yeah, I feel like he's very impressive with his. He understands the game well because they're never the most athletic team. I feel like they're not even one of the top ones.
And that big dude they got, Clough. I mean, he's a beast inside.
Yeah, he is. Is he from
He
South
averaged
Dakota
he
State?
averaged 17 in the conference tournament.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Only averaged 9 on the year, but he averaged 17 in the conference tournament. Interesting. So yeah, I would say over. Maybe Jordan and Josh both kind of like queens to cover that. Yeah, I would lean over, and maybe if you want to take queens to maybe get a backdoor cover there plus 23. Jordan says it's kind of crazy, so that is interesting. Or 25 and a half, 25 and a half rather.
25 and a half, yeah.
All right. Let's get to the next one here. Click, click, click.
My buddy thinks Queens is going to beat Purdue, but he's very biased. He's very biased.
Tell him to go look at Queens' defense and then get back.
He's very biased about them.
Hey, they shoot well. I'm not to discount them, but
Well, that means the over. Let's do the over all day on that one.
over. I take the over.
All right, California Baptist. They win on the. I don't know if you were watching that. They missed the. Who the hell were they playing in the final? Utah Valley.
Yeah.
It was a midnight start for the last conference tournament game. Utah Valley missed a dunk to tie the game with like 2 seconds.
I watched that game. Yeah,
That's crazy. Did you like what you saw out of Cal Baptist? They're playing Kansas. Spread is 14.5. That's actually not too high.
I love Dominique Daniels, man. That guy was on fire at the end of that game. He was awesome to watch. But, I mean, tough matchup for him with Peterson. I mean, it's not the guy you want to be going against.
Yeah, he's a little small.
Yeah, he's like 5'10" or something.
Yeah.
Tough.
He's going to struggle with that matchup.
Yeah. Hard to play against a 6'6" guy who's more athletic than you. Probably faster, jumps higher. No physical advantages whatsoever.
Exactly.
I kind of like Kansas team now. They didn't really play well down the stretch. They lost 3 of their last 5 games. They got killed by Houston. They lost to Arizona State, which is weird. Then they went to Arizona. They got blown out as well. Peterson's just kind of weird. I mean, I don't know. I watched him in a couple games early on, and he's so freaking talented. And then he doesn't play, and then he doesn't seem like he's aggressive. So I don't know what's going on. What do you think about Kansas, Jordan?
I think that Arizona State is an underrated program. They got a 7-footer who's probably going to be in the first round of the draft. I think Kansas is good. It's just that they're inconsistent. Every single week, you don't know what Kansas program you're getting. I think the same thing with Peterson in terms of like, is he going to be playing? His hamstring injury, how serious is it? Trey White played really well. He shot the ball really well in the games I've seen.
Yeah.
I think Kansas is just extremely talented. Badunga's a beast. I think overall Kansas is too talented for this team. I think they're too big, too talented, but you never really know with one of these Cal Baptist. I think Cal Baptist is actually a good program, and I think that they're a 3-point shooting team that could upset. It's a scary team to play in the first round because I think that they could come in and outshoot you. It's a question of like, I think that Kansas's defense is just going to be too much for them because of their size and athleticism.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think their defense is phenomenal, and it's going to be tough for Cal Baptist to get good looks at it. Kansas, they've definitely struggled to shoot it at times, and they're not a very deep team. So if they get in foul trouble, any of their top players get in foul trouble, could be an issue. But yeah, I think they're just too good defensively for Cal Baptist. And a real interesting matchup if St. John's, Kansas happens. I'll be tuned in for that game.
Game is in San Diego, so Cal Baptist gets a little bit of a
there you go.
advantage there.
Yeah.
I don't know what part of California Cal Baptist is at. Let me see. Where the hell it is? Oh, Riverside. So I don't think they're too far.
This Daniels kid, though, he can get really hot. He's put up some huge numbers recently. definitely won that game for them against Utah Valley. Really had that game. They really blew it.
Yeah, they're probably about 3 hours away from San Diego.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely, it's gonna be interesting. I like Kansas. I feel like he's got some more guys this year. With like you said, Trey White and Peterson coming in, and Council's pretty good, and Badunkadunk. So
Bryson Tiller's been pretty good. I like him.
Solid, yeah.
Yeah,
But I mean OTE, right?
Yeah, I mean their starters are very good. They don't have much depth, so that's my concern for them down the road later in the tournament. But they should have enough to get by this one.
I mean, they beat Texas Tech with Toppin. They beat Arizona at home. They beat Houston by 13 at home. So yeah, I mean, this is a very, very capable team. They lost to UConn 61-56. Duke beat them by 10 on a neutral court. They also lost to Carolina early in the year too. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'd take Kansas. I don't know if Kansas is getting full respect here. I think this might be a good spot to take them. Just a 14-point spread. You guys like Kansas, or you favor Baptist?
I'd take Kansas.
I think Kansas.
All right.
I think they are underrated in this spot here. Nobody's really talking about them. And
I should avoid the spread. I would avoid the spread. Who knows what the score is going to be? I'd avoid it. Just in case Cal Baptist, they're home and they get hot from the field. It could be a long night, but Kansas also pull it out.
Case Peterson decides to just sit this one out.
We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably not going to push him too much unless they really have to.
Yeah, they might not even respect the team enough.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming off a humbling loss in the conference tournament, so they should be ready. I mean, this is Bill Self team. They should be ready to go. All right, 2 more games. We got Furman. We're finally on Furman. Do we miss anything? Did I miss a team? I guess not. All right, Furman at UConn. Furman's a 15. UConn's favored by 21. I just don't know if I think this is, Hurley's had some good teams. I don't know if do you think they're a 2 seed? UConn?
No.
I don't think so.
It's surprising that they got a 2 and St. John's got a 5.
Makes no sense.
St. John's won the regular season and the tournament.
They lost at Marquette.
Yeah, I mean they did look really terrible like a month ago. I watched the game where they seriously missed like 20 shots in a row, and I was like, this team is terrible.
UConn? Oh, St. John's.
Yeah, St. John's, but I don't know. I mean, UConn's still got a lot of championship experience, though. I mean, Caravan's got 3 titles.
Solo ball.
Yeah, Solo.
I don't know. I don't think Solo Ball and Caravan are really that good, though. Do you guys think they're that good?
I think they're good. I think they're good.
Caravan's like
Harris Reed is a beast.
Huh? Who's that?
Eric Reed is a beast.
Oh yeah, Reed's good. I like him.
I just don't trust their shooting as much.
Yeah.
It's probably why they're a 2 seed is because they beat Florida on a neutral court. They beat Illinois on a neutral court. They beat BYU on a neutral court. They only lost to Arizona by 4. They beat Texas.
Yeah.
They killed St. John's too in one of those, but they did lose 2 out of 3. But you're right. They did lose to Marquette. That's really it, though. And they lost to Creighton too recently, 91-84.
Yeah, it seems like there might be some kind of issue there, that I don't know. Some kind of like internal locker room thing going on. I don't know. It's weird. Losing to Marquette and Creighton. Very strange.
How far do you see UConn going here, Jordan?
I think
Michigan State, or do you think UCLA could beat them?
I think if UCLA wins their first round matchup, I think they could beat UConn. I don't know that they will. I don't think they will. To be honest, I think UConn is their program is too consistent, and they have their guys really understand what they're doing. I think that UConn, Michigan State's probably going to be the matchup, and I think Michigan State might have an edge on this team, this version of the team. I think Michigan State's just much tougher and more athletic. So I think UConn will get stopped after the Sweet 16.
What
But
do
I
you
would
think?
pick them to go there.
What do you think, Josh? What do you think about UConn here?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're certainly vulnerable, but you can't really argue with their track record, their experience. I mean, they nearly beat Florida last year. I mean, they had them on the ropes in that game. They've won a couple titles recently. Can't overlook them, but I think they are vulnerable. I mean, I think that, like I said, that part of the bracket right there, I think there's 4 or 5 teams that could make an Elite Eight from that bottom part of that bracket. So it's pretty wide open, I'd say.
Yeah, the first round's in Philly, so that's going to be, obviously a big time pro UConn crowd. And then their East Regional is in Washington, D.C., so that kind of favors UConn too. Even if they play Michigan State. And, it could just be, UConn, St. John's, Patino obviously just has Hurley's number, and look, you see what they did out at a conference. So, I mean, they could just present problems. They, like Jordan said, they're just so solid. It's just a solid program. That's going to be an interesting matchup, but, that's going to be in D.C. That's definitely that favors UConn. They're gonna fill up that arena for sure. Maybe we get a St. John's UConn final, which would be, an Elite Eight, which would be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very possible.
All right, one more game left, then we'll review this bracket real quick, and we'll get the hell out of here. Missouri, last game against Miami. Missouri's a 10 seed. Miami's the 7 seed, just a 2-point spread. Miami's the favorite, 147.5. We didn't even talk about Furman. I've been talking about Furman and totally skipped over them. But
They were the 6th seed in their tournament, I think, and pulled it off.
They did beat Virginia that one year. I'm just looking at Furman's schedule real quick. They beat Richmond.
Not the same team.
Yeah. I mean, when you're the 6th seed in a tournament, in a conference like that, it's hard to take them seriously.
It's hard to take them seriously. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't think. All right, let's go back to the Miami Missouri game. All right, thoughts on Miami, Missouri, Jordan?
Miami. I'm picking Miami. I think that they have more talent, like Trey Donaldson. I think that
Michigan guy, right?
Yeah, but I think he just didn't he play at Auburn?
Too. Yeah, Auburn too.
Played at Auburn, right? I think
a lot of tournament experience.
Uday is solid. I think that they're just gonna. I think they're just more talented and deep overall. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I think Malik Renew and Shelton Henderson are NBA players for sure. Yeah, they're big, athletic. They could be a problem. Missouri, they've got Mark Mitchell, the old Duke player, but I don't think they have much. They got a big guy Phillips inside who could be an issue for them, but I think Miami. It is in Missouri though, in St. Louis, Missouri, which is pretty unfair to Miami. But yeah, I think Miami gets the game anyways. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, great break for Missouri. I mean, they've got every advantage they could ask for, but I think they still lose.
Miami, they won at NC State. They only lost to Virginia by 3 at Virginia. Just looking at some of their road games here.
Yeah, I was a little down on the ACC until I started watching more highlights the last few days, and I kind of thought the ACC was better than I gave them credit for. With Louisville, I think Louisville was playing better at the end of the year. I think Miami was playing pretty well. So
they won
at
Miami. They won at SMU too.
Yeah, Miami's a team that could give Purdue problems too. They could, they're capable of making a run here.
All right. I mean, they beat Louisville in the conference tournament. They lost to Virginia. No respect for Missouri. That coach has kind of been there for a while. He's done a pretty good job with them. Did they have any key wins here in the SEC? They beat Florida. They beat Kentucky at Kentucky. They lost to Kansas by 20 in a neutral court. They lost to Illinois. They got destroyed by Illinois. They almost won at Arkansas. They played tough. They beat Vanderbilt. I don't know. They played Arkansas again tough. Only lost in overtime. I don't know. Beat Tennessee. I think I like Missouri here.
Yeah, I mean, they're at home.
Yeah, and they're home. Exactly.
Good opportunity for them.
That makes sense. You know, we're going with Miami, Ohio. With the points, let's go with Missouri at home there. Jordan likes Miami, though. Josh kind of likes Miami as well. Total is 147. Probably would lean over here, actually. Although it's kind of high, 80, 70. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's take one quick look at the bracket. We'll get your guys' final four, and then we'll get out of here. And then if you guys have any true sleepers that you can make, we'll get to that too. But let's start with that. What's one team that maybe is like a 6 seed and up that you think can make it deeper on the tournament, Jordan?
6 seed and up. Ooh, that's a tough one. Let me just scan the bracket real quick. 6 seed and up. I mean, Kentucky obviously is extremely talented. They have the upside. I think Miami, Tennessee. I think all three of those teams could make a run. I like Miami actually. Their matchup with Purdue potentially if they can make it out of Missouri. So that's a tough.
Why do you like Miami so much?
I think they have a lot of weapons. I think that they have size and athleticism and weapons. I think that Missouri's program's never really proven it as much as Miami. Miami's been consistently pretty solid, and they're third in the ACC. And the ACC was solid this year, I think. I'm just looking through the bracket. I really only see those couple of teams. Kentucky. I think if you really want to go deep, like a couple, like an Akron or someone like that, I don't think that they're going to make it past the second round. I don't really see any of like Cinderellas beyond like a. Like I have High Point winning. I don't think they're going to beat Arkansas. What else? I don't really see any darlings making it past. Maybe St. Louis. St. Louis has a outside shot to upset Michigan. I don't really think so, but I don't think they can pull it off. I think Michigan's size is too much, but I think they should give them a good game. But I think Tennessee has a good chance to make a run. I like Kentucky, and then I like, I think those two are pretty solid choices.
Tennessee, I mean, they're usually a much higher seed. They're a 6 seed this year. So,
yeah.
Again, they have to play one of those first 4. They're going to have to play Miami, Ohio, potentially in Dayton. But it seems like, maybe they're not getting much respect. Maybe they could make a run.
Nate Amick is an NBA player, probable top 7 pick, maybe top 5.
What's
Nate Amick. Watch him. He's incredibly talented. 6'10", plays like a guard.
Okay. All right, Josh, what do you think? 6 and up, or you can go higher, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of mine would come from that same little section of the bracket where UConn is. I like UCLA. I think even Louisville or even South Florida. I think one of those teams. I think the door's open in that little section of the bracket and Michigan State's there, so they're tough. But I think one of those teams could come out. Miami, like we said, I feel like they've got an opportunity there to make a run. I don't necessarily believe that I don't know if I fully believe in them to do it, but I think they can. I'd lean towards those teams. I'd love to see South Florida do it.
South Florida do it, actually.
I'd love to see them make an Elite 8 run.
I think they could. I think you're right.
I think it's possible. If there's going to be a double-digit seed make it, that's probably who I would pick.
Do you see any of these first 4 teams make it to the Sweet 16? Or no? You don't think it's going to happen this year? It seems like it happens almost every year, every other year. Texas, NC State, and then you got Miami, Ohio, and SMU.
Yeah, I don't really think so. I don't see it out of those teams. NC State, maybe. I feel like they're the best candidate, but tough matchup with Gonzaga there. I don't see them getting past that.
Okay. Final four. Jordan, what do you got?
Oh man, this is tough. I'm going to be oscillating. I'm going to be checking the Duke players to see if everyone's going to be there. Right now, I might go Johnny's.
Okay.
Johnny's, Houston. Johnny's Houston. Let's see. I don't know. I have a hard time picking in that Michigan bracket, and then I might go Arkansas. It's either Arkansas or Arizona, but one of the two. I'm gonna rewatch the Arizona games, so I might do Arkansas, St. John's,
Wow.
Houston. Yeah, I'm gonna have a weird bracket.
So it's not going to. You guys don't see it being as chalky as last year. With all the one seeds in it, Josh, what do you got?
Yeah, last year was all ones. I actually picked all ones and still didn't win a bracket. I guess that's an easy one. I guess lots of people did that.
Did you have the national champ or no?
Yeah, I picked
four, right?
Yeah, but I did have Duke in the championship in most of mine. I think that's probably what cost me. But I like Arizona. I'm Big 12 heavy. I like Arizona and Houston to be there. I think Iowa State has a good chance to get there. I lean in towards Iowa State or Virginia. I'm not really sure who I would like out of the. I feel like Michigan's going to get beat. That LJ Kaysen loss is big for me. I think I'm not going to pick them because of that. And then I think Duke's going to get beat too. I like the St. John's pick. And I might even throw UCLA in there in a few brackets. So,
all right. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Duke, Houston. Man, I don't know who's coming out of that freaking Midwest bracket. No idea. Maybe I'll just say Tennessee for the hell of it.
there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to go Arkansas. That's what I'm going to go with.
All right. I do like Arkansas. I'll be rooting for him. Acuff's my favorite player to watch. I hope he makes a run. I'd love to see it.
All right. So what's the final, Jordan? Who's your champ?
Tough right now. Still thinking through it.
Well, you could always, we'll reassess this next week after the first round.
Yeah, I think Arkansas is going to be in the final. Sounds crazy, but I think they'll get there. Maybe Arkansas Johnnies. That's tough. I don't know. That's crazy.
That's a rematch of last year's tournament game.
You know what? I don't think the Johnnies are going to beat Houston. That's not going to happen. So probably
Arkansas, Houston.
Okay. But,
who's the national champ?
I'm going to put Arkansas, I guess, if that's
wow.
my bracket.
Plus 60 to 1. Lay your bets now. Yeah, I think that's a good bet. I think that's a good bet for Arkansas.
It's a great bet.
St. John's is 75 to 1.
I'm going to put both of the teams down.
Yeah, I think I am too. That sounds pretty good.
All right, Josh, what do you got?
I'm going to say Arizona versus Houston final. And Arizona has been definitely the better team when they've played multiple times, and Arizona's won every time. However, Kelvin Sampson seems due to win. Arizona, this coach has not been there on the big stage. Taking Houston.
Wow.
All right.
But I'm also taking Arizona in some brackets too.
I think
I'm gonna put that final in most of mine probably and pick both teams. So.
Yeah, Houston is 13 to 1, so that's a good bet too.
Yeah.
They're the fifth favorite after the top 1 seeds, so they're the highest ranked second seed. I don't see Iowa State winning or Illinois or Purdue or I kind of like the Houston pick. I feel like they're being a little underrated. Now they weren't as strong as they usually are. But I do kind of like their road, and I think they could take care of Florida. Now Florida I don't know if I trust Florida's guards. Obviously last year with Clayton and Richard and Aberdeen, and I don't know if they have the guards to make the run this year. Do you guys agree with that?
I
Yeah, I
agree
mean,
with
I think this is a fun year because there's definitely a lot of teams that could do it. I feel like there's there's no just team that's just a lock. Like it, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of things that could happen here. Arkansas and Arizona, Sweet 16. Whoever wins that, I like. I want to believe that Arkansas can do it.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well, that was good, boys. Anything you guys want to add before we get out of here? We went 3 hours and 20 minutes. So
that's a long time.
but it's good. It's Monday. People can watch Tuesday. They can watch Wednesday. So plenty of time to listen while they go for a walk or go to the gym or mow their lawn or whatever, shovel the snow, whatever the hell they're doing. But Jordan, any final thoughts here anything you missed that you wanted to add? A player, a team, a strategy, anything?
I think there's a lot of parity this year. I think that there are a lot of lower seeds that are solid. I think that even though I'm picked against the Michigans, I picked against the Arizonas, the Dukes. The Duke and the Michigan is more so because of personnel being out. But Arizona seems like the odds-on favorite for sure. So I don't want to completely discount them, but I really like some of the other teams this year, like the lower seeds.
Yeah, what do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Arizona is the best team. I think they're definitely the best team. However, they haven't been there and played for the titles. They haven't been to the Final Four in a while, especially this coach. I don't know. I mean, I think they're the best team by far. I think they've shown it. They've beaten Houston several times, and I don't know. I think it's theirs to lose, but I think they're certainly capable of getting beat by a lot of teams, so it should make it interesting.
Yeah, Duke again, the favorite plus 350. I could definitely see Duke winning it despite the injuries. Michigan, I don't know. Is there something we don't trust Cadeau as the guard there to kind of lead them, or what's the weakness there that we don't like?
I think LJ Kaysen is their best guard, and he comes off the bench, so it makes it seem like he's not as important as he is, and I think that's going to really hurt him. And with Duke, I mean, you can't lose your starting center and starting point guard and be the same. And if especially if the big man doesn't come back, I think they're in trouble in that Sweet 16 matchup. Whoever it is, either Kansas or St. John's, I think would give them a problem without both those guys. So
do you think Lendenberg's type of guy that could carry them to a national championship, Michigan, or no?
I don't know that he's like the star carrying the guy, but they've got a lot of good players. I feel like they don't have that one star player necessarily, but they've got a lot of talented. I mean, Mara, that 7'4" center's playing really well. They've got a lot of. They're deep, so I mean, they certainly could do it too. I'm not counting them out, but I don't know. They've been struggling, showing a little vulnerability those last few games that they didn't have earlier in the year, and I think that's due to Kaysen. I mean, I think he's definitely like a spark plug off the bench and best scoring guard that they have. And
yeah, I'm going to recap it. I think Duke can win it. Arizona, Florida could do it. I don't know if I trust their guards, but Houston seems kind of sneaky. Then like we were talking about Arkansas, maybe Gonzaga can make a run. St. John's as well. But there's a lot of good teams. I don't think we're going to see the chalk that we saw in the past years. And we could see some really, crazy things happening in this tournament.
I'd be shocked to see 4 number 1 seeds. I don't think that will happen.
I don't think we're seeing that. All right, but this was great, guys. Jordan, where can they follow you, man? I know you got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, you can follow me, Rise and Grind Hoops on Instagram or Rise and Grind TBT on Instagram, and then JTM Basketball on Twitter. So if you want to hear my player draft opinions, Twitter's the place. If you're looking for scores and information on that, Instagram.
All right, and Josh, you drop your book, man. You just wrote a book.
Yeah. I'm the worst when it comes to social media or posting any of my stuff. But yeah, just finished a book. It has nothing to do with basketball at all, but it's called Kept in the Dark. Unlocking the Secrets to Our Evolution. It's very deep. Goes into all like the biggest questions we all have about the world and our life. And it was my lifetime research project of looking for answers to those questions. So if nothing else, it'll be very interesting, I think, you know?
Yeah. And then
So.
drop your X handle in case people want some college basketball bets.
What is my X handle? Is it Hoop Visions?
Hoop
I don't
Visions,
even.
yeah.
I don't
It
even
is-
know.
It
I
is
do
Hoop
have a.
Visions. Hold on. Let me put it up here.
I do have a website that I've not maintained whatsoever.
There's Jordan's handle,
but-
JTM Basketball. I still got it on here. And there's Josh at Hoop Visions. There you go.
I will post my stuff to my Hoop Vision site eventually.
All right, guys. This was great. We'll hopefully we all be back after the first 2 rounds. And we'll finish up. Jordan, thank you for joining us. Josh, as well, for all your inputs. Lots of good info. Repeat this guy. I'm going to try to listen to this myself. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right.